Did you just say that your dog pisses on a lot of girls?
It does, yeah. It's funny. My sister's friends. It's really funny.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
it's funny. And we always break their balls. They're like, well, you know what? Now now you're his.
Well, that's what it is. Is he neutered? No, he's little.
No, we're thinking about like breeding.
Okay, so that's what we were going to do with Kenji. I've said this a bunch of times. That's what we were going to do with Kenji. But
Oh, you did say that.
with the seizures and everything like that, you just can't. You don't want to breed that into the line because then
No, you don't.
Because then it's a heartbreak for not only the dog, because you don't want the dog to go through shit like that, but it's a heartbreak for the family because
Yeah, it
it's
is.
so much, dude. It's
No, it is. You're
It's just nonstop. You're constantly monitoring the dog, looking at him. Like he does something weird, you go, "What's going on? What's going on?" I've become more. I don't want to say immune to it, but I've become more relaxed about it.
Yeah.
Because listen, the dog's going to have seizures like here and there. Maybe we could spread them out as far as humanly possible. Now he's on potassium bromide, which is a really strong anticonvulsant. And a lot of people have said that that's the quintessential besides phenobarbital. They said that's the one to go with if you want to do it, this and that. Now, there's a vet that I'm very close with, and he's actually a black belt at Sarah's.
Oh, sick. Very cool.
So one day I just heard him talking one day, and I was like, "Oh, you're a doctor?" And he goes, "Well, I'm a vet." And I said, "Oh shit!" I said, "Well, this is what I got going on." He agreed to see Kenji. Went and saw him, and it was a good situation because you feel like when you're dealing with issues with the dogs, you become a vet. You become
of course.
a doctor. You almost have to
It's why your own.
Yeah, you have to almost don these different titles.
Yeah, of course.
And it can become something that's very anxiety inducing because you don't know if you're doing the right thing for the dog.
No,
and
of course.
this goes for people as well.
Absolutely.
But it's you don't know if you're doing the right thing for the dog. So what do we do? Should we give him this medicine? Should we give him that medicine?
Yeah.
What? And so I think having somebody on the inside, it does help a little bit. It eases the anxiety of it. So brought him to him. He told me do potassium bromide because Kenji was on Keppra, and he still is for a long time. Kepra's a very light. Yeah, he's been rolling around and shit. Kepra's a very light anticonvulsant.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And so now we added the potassium bromide to it. Now he went 2 months without a seizure with the potassium bromide.
Okay.
But one morning, 3-4 weeks ago, I looked at his bed. His bed was soaked. I'm like, "Did you pee in the bed?"
Himself, yeah.
And I looked. "Hi, Kenj. Now you want to say hi, huh? We're on the air. Now you want to say hi. Come here. Come over here." I know he's got a good face. So
my dog has a box face.
the big ass head.
Funny. Oh my god.
So I looked at his bed and I'm like, what's going on? So I re-looked at the security cameras. Yeah, he's sniffing my knee. I re-looked at the security cameras and I was like, he actually had an episode, but it was light. So normally his episodes would wake me up.
Yeah. Wow. Jesus.
But it was so light that I was like, oh shit, I didn't even hear it. And it was short and he recovered himself. And the next morning, I wouldn't even have known if he had one if I didn't see the footage and if I didn't see the wet bed.
Yeah. How long did they last, out of curiosity?
It depends.
Seconds?
No, his are long, man.
Really?
Yeah, so his will last on average, 4.5 to 5.5 minutes.
Oh man, that's a long 5 minutes, man. Let me tell you.
It's a brutal 5 minutes. It's a brutal 5 minutes because you're. And I'll tell you what, there's been a couple of techniques that I've learned from the seizure groups, the epilepsy groups for the dogs. There's ocular compressions that I do, which stimulate the vagus nerve.
Oh,
so that actually shortens the seizures episodes, and it actually helps him get out of them quicker. Sometimes it can almost people have said that it almost took the dog out of it completely before so they'll exhibit signs of a preocular phase or a phase.
Yeah.
They'll exhibit signs of a seizure prior. They'll do the ocular compressions and then they'll not have an episode.
Wow, that's wild.
So it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, it is.
It is really cool. So it's been an adventure. And my mom says constantly, she's like, this is preparing you for kids.
Of course.
That's what this is really doing.
It really is, man.
Preparing you for the anxiety of having kids, the different things that go on.
Yeah.
So it's been an adventure. I've said it again. I've said it multiple times. I'll say it again and I'll say it again.
Yeah.
I never thought that I was gonna have a dog that at 2.5 years old he'd have issues. I never thought that. When Cookie, my last dog, died. When Cookie died,
I remember.
I thought that I'll get a puppy. Dog won't have issues until 10, 11, 12 because it never happened with Cookie. So you just think that it's going to be the same situation, and that's not how the cards played out. So we deal with it.
Yeah.
We just help him whenever he needs the help. Yeah. And he lives a very happy life. He's chilling.
Yeah, no, he's a great dog.
He loves it. I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's the medicine, but He's eating. He used to, even with the raw food, he used to give me shit.
Really?
Oh,
like he would fight you for that?
Not fight me for it. He would just
refuse it.
He would like come over, sniff it, walk away.
Huh.
I'm like, bro.
My dog does that too sometimes.
Yeah, but then he would start vomiting like later on if he didn't eat.
Oh, geez.
Because he would have. I'm trying to jack this chair.
No, it's okay.
Because he would have. I feel like I'm fucking mad short.
Wild, man.
So my long story short, my mom actually stole this chair from her office.
Nice.
Hey, it'd be like that sometimes. Spending mad money on the office rent. It is what it is. So she like took this chair from me for the office, but it doesn't lock. So it's like,
you just go.
Yeah. So it's like a shot chair. So she picked the one chair that was shot. So it's like I sometimes I'm just like, oh hey, like I'm just trying to sit forward, and I feel like it sinks a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he would fight me on a lot of that, man, and it was definitely tough. But now I put everything in front of him, and he's
good.
I don't know if it's the age. I don't know if something just flipped in his brain where he was like, all right,
He's taught it.
it's time to munch now. Like it's good.
Could be.
I give him butter. I give him whole grass-fed butter.
Kerrygold.
You know what? Kerrygold got in trouble recently
What?
for not being as grass-fed organic as they claimed. And then from what I understand, there was
loves that.
an issue with the wrapper.
Like the wrapping?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you right now.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love Kerrygold. Shit. I'm about to fucking throw that out.
Hold on one second.
It takes time, man. It's wild. We need a Jamie. Jamie, look that up, please.
We need it. We do need a Jamie. It's crazy. Let me see.
That's wild.
I have so many people messaging me about the fast. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's sick. We definitely got to talk about that.
We will.
I've been doing that a while too.
Kerrygold class action lawsuit.
Oh Jesus, that's fucking bad.
Yeah.
That's
It's
terrible.
falsely advertised as pure Irish butter. A butter consumer sued top class action. Oh my God. Can you please stop popping shit up on my
I know,
screen?
God.
I'm so tired of it. Do you want cookies? Accept the cookies.
Yeah,
Accept the. Can we get
Accept
the
all
email?
cookies data.
Leave the fuck alone. Top class actions website and social media posts use affiliate links if you make a purchase. Oh, dude. I'm trying to get to the fucking article. I'm not trying to read your ad. Kerrygold Irish Butter class action. A butter consumer sued Ornua Foods, North America.
Yeah, it's probably the company.
Why? The plaintiff says that the company's Kerrygold Irish Butter contains forever chemicals.
Oh shit.
Sick.
Oh fucking carcinogens. That's fucking
That's
wild.
great. A butter consumer sued them. Can contain harmful forever chemicals in
wild.
contrast to its quote unquote pure advertising.
Yeah.
Plaintiff Carolyn Winans filed the class action lawsuit against Ornua Foods, North America, in a New York federal court, alleging violations of state and federal consumer laws. She says Kerrygold Irish Butter is prominently labeled as containing pure Irish butter when in fact it allegedly contains per and polyfluoralkyl.
Oh, okay. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, substances, PFAS, a category of harmful synthetic chemicals. PFAS are a group of synthetic, not man-made chemicals known to be harmful to both humans and the environment. And the class action Kerrygold lawsuit
like that Roundup
says that because PFAS persist and accumulate over time, they are harmful even at very low levels.
Damn, that's fucking wild. Shit.
Yeah.
That's like that Roundup stuff. Like you ever see those commercials now? Like if you had some food that had this, or if you use Roundup, you can be entitled to money, man. That Roundup shit fucked a lot of people up. Neurological problems. I've had patients like that where they had like early onset Parkinson's in just one side, like a rare type Parkinson's strain, and they're like, yeah, man, it came from the chemical this. Wild stuff, man. But if that's in there, dude, they are in some serious fucking trouble.
Well, it's scary, man, because like what else is in our foods that they're just and we go over this. I feel like every episode I go over this with whatever guest I have on. It's like, what are they putting in our food? You know what I'm saying? Like what are they putting in our foods and why is that acceptable? Why is it acceptable to use these things?
It's sad.
Why does like a CEO of a company, why do they find it okay to use these things? And then what? You're going to bring that food home to your family?
It's money, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it's money, but like at what point at what point is there like, well, we charge top dollar for shit. We could be using real ingredients and natural stuff, but we just choose to just use the shit for no reason, even though the profit margins might not be any different. That's the crazy thing to me.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see like that type of like how much money would you really lose if like you did a full revamping? You know, like I'll give you an example, like electrical cars, right? Like pretty much all of
You have the Tesla.
Yeah, I have the Tesla. Yeah, great car. Highly recommend it. I always read up on like Tesla. I'm a big fan of Tesla. I have stock in it and all that jazz. You know, really, I got lost in the sauce with them. So what they always say is that like Tesla has been probably 10 to 15 years ahead of them, which makes sense because that's when the car really came out, around 2009, 2008. And most of the companies that are trying to go into electric, they're losing like anywhere from 30 grand to 100 grand per vehicle sold right now. But they, it's one of those things where in 4 or 5 years, they're going to be making money. So it kind of puts that into perspective on how the food is. Let's just say, like, oh, you know what? I don't want to use any of this chemical shit anymore. I want to use this. How much money are we going to lose per year? And how long it's going to be till we get into the green rather than the red. So it is something interesting, but that's probably such a long way to go, Nick, for like us to to force them to do that, because they're not going to do that willingly.
No, of course not.
No,
of course not, because it takes too much in their minds to just reformulate and just go back to the drawing board. But realistically, it's like it doesn't take much. Yeah. Like, I'll give you an example. I definitely try not to drink too many things that have a lot of fake sugars in it.
Yeah,
like the Rain is probably the only thing that I drink that has sucralose in it.
Delicious.
Listen, man. Listen. Shouts to Rain. I've talked to them a bunch of times, and it's just kind of what the formulators formulate. That's what I've been told.
Yeah.
I've talked to them about the sugars that they use and the sweeteners, and it's just like, hey, that's what the formulation that the scientists said is it. Yeah. So like Monster down to Rain, it's like that's the chain of command.
Yep.
A lot of them have been very loud in saying that we want to use different things, and
right?
That's okay. That's awesome. Yeah. But like, is it actually going to take effect? Maybe, maybe not. It is what it is. So, it's like a weird situation, because I'll have people message me. They'll be like, don't you drink Rain? It's like, yeah, listen, I'm okay with having some in my system, like moderation. But like when you drink that, and then the ice cream that you eat has it, and then this has it, and that has it, and you start piling it up, it's like, well, that safe amount that you thought that you were consuming from the beginning, where it was just this, no, that was in 15 other items that you just consumed.
Yeah,
and it's
much.
like, now it's it. So one of the things that I love is Jocko Fuel. Jocko's
delicious. Yeah.
Jocko Fuel is great,
really
because the protein powder.
Yeah.
Because he uses monk fruit. Now, is it a little bit bitter? Yeah, it's a little bitter.
It's a different taste, man.
But guess what, man? Like, he's using monk fruit. It's like one less thing that I can cut out from like having.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I think that it's just, I've had like the epiphany of all epiphanies the last 2 years. It's been like a very interesting shift in things. Mm-hmm. It's been an interesting shift away from just complete bodybuilding. It's been an interesting shift away from like the foods and the things that I'm consuming, the reading the labels. I always read labels, but I wasn't ever this intense about things.
Yeah, no. And, it's one of those things where you can't really just jump straight into be like, looking at the labels of everything. You slowly transition into it, like you did with 2 years. And I totally agree with you. I went from, buying like basic meats and stuff like that. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go order from this farm. I'll give a perfect example.
Oh, that's right. You were hitting me up about getting the half cow,
we should
right?
do that. Yeah, I've been doing it already. It's a lot of fun. So it really is great.
A lot of fun.
It's great, dude. It's so much fun. My mom's reaction when she gets just a big old box of meats at the front door, and they're like, sign for this, please. And my mom's like, what the fuck?
You send it home? You send it to your mom's house?
Yeah, of course. I send it to my house.
I send everything to my mom's house too.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
They have a like
the Rain deliveries go there, so there's like 500 cases go to her house. She's like, what the fuck is this? I go, yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, they have.
And then I'll come back and I'll be like, you don't care. And then I look and there's like cans missing, and I go, yeah, you really don't care. Yeah,
Bobby.
Drinking my fucking Rains.
They have my mom and dad. They have like like an ice cream freezer, cool. Like one of those things like that.
Yeah.
So we just like stuff it with meats. But that's one big thing that I've been doing lately. You buy half a cow, an eighth of a cow. You get all these good products, all types of cuts, and you know where it's coming from. It's grass fed. It's organic. And like you said, it's one of those things where if we can take just one small piece a day of shit out of our body, it benefits long term, man. It really does. It's wild.
Yeah, using the Celtics, so using Celtic salt. I've been using a lot of Celtic salt and the element. And listen, I know that there's a better alternatives or options to hydrate and do everything, because the element packs, everyone goes, oh, well, they're expensive, but they taste good, and it's like whatever. But it's 1,000 milligrams of sodium. It's got magnesium in it. It's got potassium. So it's like, okay, cool. It's just easy. And the people go, oh, well, you're paying X amount for this stick when it's really just $1 of raw material. It's like, okay, I get it. But at the same time, I also don't want to feel like making this shit. So it's like, I'll pay them to make it. I'll have the convenience of the packs, and I'll just go. But the elements are good. The element is good. I use trace mineral drops.
Oh, yes.
Because I didn't realize that, for a long time, I didn't realize that if you are filtering your water, that you need to remineralize it.
Yeah, isn't that wild? It
Years.
takes all the good and bad stuff out. Crazy.
Years I didn't realize that. So it's like I started with trace mineral drops, then I did element, then with the fasting, the element helped because it gave me some type of taste
Nutrition,
to it.
yeah.
There's a lot of people that say it takes you out of the fast, but yeah, they're like, well, the flavored ones take you out of the fast because there's 5 calories in it. I'm just like, yeah, maybe, but
It's not a fucking cheeseburger.
yeah, probably not. I'll if that's considered a dirty fast, I'll dirty fast all day. It's cool. And I think that I've been more open to seeing different types of dieting, training styles. That's how I got into the jujitsu.
Right.
I've always wanted to do jujitsu. So it's like,
Really?
yeah, I've always wanted to do jujitsu. And I think that I saw all these different training styles. I saw that I was moving away from the bodybuilding, not only shooting content wise, but just working out. Like I haven't been to Bev's. I haven't been to Bev's in oh man, I think my last time there was probably June.
Really?
June, July.
Wow, it's fucking almost December. Are you going to cancel?
Yeah, I'm not gonna renew. And it's no offense to Steve.
No, of course not.
I love
It's a
Steve.
great gym. It's
I love 90% of the people that
Your
go
goals
there.
are different now, man.
That's my issue. My issue is I can't sit there for the 2 hours and work out.
That's what it is. It is 2 hours.
Oh my god!
You know,
between talking to people,
yeah, dude. Everyone knows
getting
you there.
30 to 45 minutes of cardio in to just do everything, and then to actually train is too much.
No, it is.
And so I just switching up the styles, switching up to what I'm doing now, and every Sunday I do the competition class.
Yes.
And I just while I'm doing it, I'll have like little thoughts, just spacing out, just thinking, and it's just like it's crazy that my life has turned to this, and not in a negative way, in a positive way. It's crazy. I would never assume that 10 a.m. on a Sunday, I'd be at Matt Serra's jiu-jitsu gym going against fucking savages.
Get an ass kicking.
Savages.
Ass kicking,
Bad dudes, man, that go to the class because those are dudes that want to compete in ADCC, IBJJF, like all these federations that are really big deals when you start to climb the ranks. So it's like all these guys just want to get to the trials, and then from the trials they want to get up and start. I've never heard Gordon Ryan. You've probably heard of.
Yes, yeah.
He's the king. Everyone calls him the king. He's fucking unbelievable at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
So it's like you see all these dudes that are trying to get to that level, and you're rolling with them. So it's like it's exciting, man. And there's nothing more exciting than when you're looking into the eyes of another person that's trying to look at you and see where they can shoot in on you. Physical chess.
It's fun.
It's so much fun. So I have fun. The injuries have been a little bit here and there.
Yeah. I know you work with those 2 other physical therapists.
I work with Nick Gilbert, and I work with Scott over at Long Island Stretch, the homies.
Cool.
So it's like, they've helped rehab me with certain little things. My shoulder is always shot between weightlifting and
you had that
jiu-jitsu.
for a while, right?
Yeah.
You had that like...
I think ever since this is the shoulder that I hurt years ago.
Yeah.
I was doing shoulder presses.
Yeah.
I hit shoulders early in the morning one day, and then my buddy asked me to like go train shoulders again. So I said, okay, cool, I'll go train shoulders again.
Yeah, it was a 2-day.
Went again later in the evening. We're pressing the 80s, and I'm just working my way up to the hundreds like I usually do. And then all of a sudden, he was staring at somebody in the fucking mirror, like grilling him down. And then my left arm locked with the 80 and went all the way back like this. Like even doing this hurts. So like going like this, it went all the way back, and then I had to actually bring it back forward. And it was very painful for a while. I think it healed, and then I think recently I may have refucked it up.
Well, it's BJJ. You're going to manipulate a lot of the joints, so that's something you always have to think about, right? That's tough. Like even with me, and I was telling you about before, like I'm starting to do Krav Maga again and all that jazz, and I have, I would say maybe like 6 to 8 years of like just some type of mixed martial arts in my life. I probably started in 2012. I did some Muay Thai. Then I had a buddy of mine, Mike. We did Krav Maga together. And then just some like basic jiu-jitsu, like nothing crazy, like really basic stuff. And then some Kempo and boxing. It was on and off stuff, you know. So I would always remember, like, walking with a limp. Like, I kicked somebody's elbow or something like that. I'm like, well, that really fucking hurt. So
that's
now
me today.
Yeah, exactly.
I got kneed in my quad.
Yeah.
And now I have like a little bone bruise.
Yeah.
I think. I was at the
man.
grocery store before this, and I was like, I was limping around. I'm like,
It
Jesus
hurts.
Christ, I didn't fucking do anything.
Yeah, man, like broken toes, forget this and that, and I've been getting back into it now, and you feel all those old injuries coming back. You're like, man, this is, we're getting back into
I never got this fixed. I never actually got it fixed.
Exactly.
I just put a Band-Aid on it and some rock tape.
Rock tape.
I put rock tape on it, and all of a sudden I thought that was going to fix everything. Nope, it didn't. It didn't fix it. Yeah, so it's been quite the journey doing that stuff, and I love it, man. I really fucking do. I love it. At first, I was posting a lot about getting the ears.
The cauliflower ears?
Yeah, I was posting a lot about getting the ears because it started a little bit, but I was really posting because I was nervous. I was like, oh.
It takes a long time to go away, those things.
I was like, look.
Sometimes it doesn't even go away.
It's like, okay. And then all of a sudden, now I'm at the point where I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Just give it to me. I used to wear the headgear for a while. My ears were sore. I wear the bra. I call it the head bra. All the fucking upper belts would laugh at me. I'm like, yeah, look at the head bra. But yeah, it's just such a switch up from what I'm used to.
Yeah,
and it's nice because I don't want to do anything that's striking. Like, listen, we catch feet and elbows in the face here and there and pop me in the nose and this and that. It's like, okay, you know, it is what I don't want to do anything that's like direct striking. It's just not something that I'm interested in doing.
Yeah. Would you ever want to do something like that?
Nah, not really.
Really?
I mean, nah. I did some boxing with Jamal.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah.
So we've done a bunch of lessons together and stuff like that. So I think that's the most that I would like to get into this striking sense of martial arts and fighting. But there's just something about the jujitsu and there's something about the grappling. I never wrestled, anything like that. Everybody thinks I wrestled. Every person that I go, they're like wrestling. They're like, I'm like, no. They're like, oh, dude, you move pretty good. I go, okay. And I never want to. When I say things like that, I never want to come off like I'm boisterous and bragging and this and that. It's like, oh, it's a. No, I know. I'm saying, but there's a lot of dudes that would just be giving themselves pats on the back, and it's like I have so much to learn. It's unbelievable. Like just when you think you know something. I mean, I was wrestling the dude old school today, and we're doing a couple matches back and forth. And you know, mid match when he starts going like, "Yo, dude, the pressure is you're giving some serious pressure. Like you're doing great." I was like, "Oh shit, I feel good right now."
Nice.
But then I still do the rookie shit because I'm a white belt. So I still do rookie shit. So I overextended my neck a little bit and I overextended over him.
Yeah.
And he got me in like an over the top guillotine.
Okay.
And then he just flipped me.
Yeah, it's over.
And he flipped me on I went whoop and I went to the other side and he just caught me right in the choke and that was it. I went, okay, old school, my bad. My bad, bro.
Yeah. Isn't it wild on how like, manipulating the head just controls the body?
Yeah.
It really is crazy. And that's like a lot of physical therapy techniques as well. Like when neurological patients, if we want them to kind of do, something in a situation where their nervous system isn't allowing them, they have core instincts, right? If I like move your head this way, you're going to follow that way. You're not going to just, and stop it. My head's going to keep going. That's not how it is. Those are very, very core foundational reflexes that we have. So that's what BJJ comes with, which is really exciting to hear that.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I do a lot of collar ties. So I do a lot of
great,
behind the head, controlling it. But then I do that now because there's a lot of guys for a long time that were doing it to me. Mm-hmm. So like as I was getting...
So you learned,
Yeah, so I learned, I was like, okay, so control the neck, break their posture down, stuff like that, grab the outside tricep, throw them down, and then you could shoot in, stuff like that. So, I do all that, but my neck gets trashed.
Yeah, as that guy said, man, neck is pretty much like the number one injury for a type of mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
It's really rare that not really rare, but I would say the majority is from the neck. Whether you're getting hit, you're getting manipulated, it is what it is, so I get you on that. But yeah, man, that's really cool. But I think you would like striking. I think you'd love Krav Maga, man.
Probably. I'll come. When do you go?
I go on Sundays and Tuesdays. Sundays, it's on a little bit later on, like 4 to 5. And then Tuesdays are like 8:30, 9:30.
You going today?
No, I'm not going today.
Oh, okay.
I'm hanging out, yeah. What was I going to say with that? But the cool thing about Krav Maga, I think when you like it is, it's not like, I guess I want to try and say is it's not foundational work. And what I mean by that is it's not a dirty way of fighting, but it's raw. Right, it's bread and butter. The Israeli soldiers use it. And the great thing about it is that you can start really anywhere. If you want to work your way up with levels, of course you have to start at level 1, right? But with those things like that, it's really like street fighting. And what I mean by that is like, let's say, you're out with somebody and, they come at you with, God forbid, a gun or a knife or a bat. That's where it comes into play the best. It's not like, I'm going to throw a 1-2. It's more of like, all right, this guy's coming at me with some type of blunt object. How do I get it out of him? And then like fuck them up at the same time. So that's why I think it's really, it's good foundational work. I really like it like that. So I think you would like it,
Yeah.
But again, you're really hitting somebody. So it is,
yeah. I'm interested. I think I've transitioned mentally into a lot of self-defense stuff because as I'm getting older, I think it's really good to have a lot of knowledge about awareness and whatnot. Like, listen,
man.
He's fucking scratching.
Scratching for like 10 minutes.
Oh my God, I gotta. And it's his allergies. It's not even that he's dirty.
I feel bad. I know.
Kenj, you all right? it's interesting because I carry pepper spray.
Good.
I have Kenji. So it's like these things. I apply for my pistol permit.
Cool.
It's like all these different things. It's like I want to be proficient with everything.
Yeah.
It's like I want to just. I'm not out here looking for trouble. I've went 32.
No, you shouldn't be looking for
I've went 32 years. Are you gonna be nice to him now? I went 32 years of my life.
Yeah.
Hey Kenji, I went 32 years of my life as tails growing, and he's just distracted me. Come here. Come over here.
So cute. This face. Oh.
Come here.
Whoa.
Come here.
Whoa.
Kenji.
I love it.
I've went 32 years of my life just not having any problems, and I don't intend to start them anytime soon. I want to always be in the know and situationally aware and be able to, God forbid something happens, I have the means and the tools to handle myself and handle. But the biggest thing is just getting away. That's the biggest thing. It's like even Jocko's a black belt.
Yeah.
He talks about it all the time. He goes, if it starts getting down in the streets, stuff like that, he's like, my first thing is like, oh, you want to fight me? I'm running.
Yeah, I
He's like, you want to do this? I'm running.
Yeah, dude,
because and he's so right because with even if your assailant comes at you and they want to fight you and cause you bodily harm, if there's a way for you to get away, that's exactly what the judges and the courts are going to say. It's like, well, all right, you beat the shit out of Buddy. It's he came at you as a criminal, but like you beat the shit out of Buddy, and it's like, well, you could have gotten away. Why did you? Or you shot him, or you this and that. It's like the last thing that I want to ever have to do. So it's like, just I'm always going to try get me the fuck away from the situation as a whole. And I've done a very good job of just like seeing things panning out and going, it's time to leave. Like especially when I had girls with me and this and that, I'd be like, we're going to get out of here. They'd be like, oh, really? Yep, trust me, because things are about to fizzle out over here. And I don't, stray words don't need to come our way, maybe present themselves to you. And then I have to step up. It's like, I don't want to do any of that. I want to just keep us away from those type of situations because they happen like that.
Yeah, man. And ego is a deadly thing, man. I hate it with a passion. It's one of those things where my teacher once told me, he goes, the best fight's the one that never starts.
Exactly.
But it's wild, man. I guess, as we get more mature in time, right, we look at it and you see the majority of the time, I think we can both face that, is the fights are with like younger people.
Well, yeah.
I would say probably like 18 to 24, right? Something around like that. And I don't know what it was. Maybe if I did it when I was younger, I never got into any fight my entire life. But,
I got into fights in high school, little tussles, nothing that was real.
In high school.
Nothing that was
I was
real.
a fucking nerd in high school.
Yeah, no, little tussles, nothing crazy. It was like such bullshit.
Yeah.
And then nothing in college.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, I don't, because listen, man, I hold myself a certain way.
Of course.
I make sure that I look like I'm not to be fucked with at all times.
Yeah, I love the intimidation factor.
Yeah, I just look like I'm not to be fucked with.
Yeah.
But there's also like I'll look people dead in the eye and I'll just like acknowledge them on the street. So there was a kid recently in town.
See, I even do that, man. I'll be honest with you, man. Like you see these videos where like people look, you see like stupid fights where like someone looked at somebody the wrong way and like that was the fucking problem.
When I look at people, I go, "What's going on, man?" Like that's it. I go, "What's going on?" Like just a friendly hello. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Friendly hello. There's not. We're not enemies. There's nothing here. But like I also want people to know, like I recognize. I see you. I'm looking at you.
Yeah, I see you.
Like,
I know where you are. Yeah.
You're not somebody that I'm not recognizing. I see you. So just. Let's, if we're not going to talk nice to each other, just keep walking. Because unfortunately, there's people that go out looking to start problems. There was a kid recently in Huntington Village. We're walking down the street, Kenji and I.
It's happening to you?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm maybe like, I don't know, I'm maybe like 40 feet ahead of him.
Okay.
And Kenji and I are walking. Kenji's sniffing the tree, this and that.
Yeah.
And the kid is going behind us. He's walking towards us, towards the street, and he's just going, "Hey." Like that.
Okay.
Hey, don't walk away from me.
What?
Don't you walk away from me?
No, really?
I swear. And I'm just like, I keep turning around looking because he's not screaming.
Yeah.
He's just like very, very talking level. So I'm like, so I keep looking, and there's really no one else around us.
Yeah.
So I'm looking back, and I just go, whatever. So I keep walking with Kenji. Hey, right when I turn around.
Yeah.
Hey, don't you walk away from me? Don't you walk away from me? So I turn around. He gets close to us. I look at him, and he's like staring at me like an asshole, like really just like.
Was he like a little kooky, maybe or something like that? You think?
No. He's being a dick. He's trying to incite problems.
Nobody that.
So I'm looking at him, and I literally go like this. I go, "You talking to me?"
Yeah.
Like that, like very just. Are you fucking talking to me? I just went.
No, yeah,
I went, "Are you talking to me?" And he goes, No, my friend over there. The fuck? Right in my face. He went, the fuck?
Oh, dude.
And then he walks past me and he goes, yo, you got motherfuckers thinking I'm talking to them. Like now he's yelling at his friend. I go, you weren't doing that. His friend is across the street.
You're not reaching him.
I go, bro. I'm like, whatever. I didn't even say anything back to him. I just looked at him. I watched him as he walked away, watched his hands, and I just, whatever, bro. Like, you just want to be an asshole on the street, just try to cause random issues with people. Don't worry about it, dude. Like, it's big dude, big man. It's cool, bro. You're cool. Okay.
Yeah, people are weird these days, man.
But that's why I mind my business. I mind my business for the most part, and that's one of the things with Kenji with the barking. I try to stop him, because he draws a lot of attention.
Of course he does.
I know
he has a big bark too.
A big bark. So like super early or super late at night.
Yeah.
So like what was it? Thanksgiving Day. After Thanksgiving Eve, because it's a fucking shithole asylum up here.
Dude. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm in Rockville Center. It was a shit show by Dirty Taco and stuff like that. Oh my god.
So and I live
kids too.
Oh my god, I live right in the epicenter of it all. So it's like. So I woke up at 4:30 in the morning because they had the gym at 6 a.m.
Nice.
So I wake up 4:30. I go start walking Kenji, and there were some people that were acting very strange across the street.
Sloppy.
Weird. You could tell they're so fucked up.
Yeah,
they're just acting weird.
Yeah, overnighters.
He's howling at them, barking. Yeah. The first couple are okay, but then I'm like, Ken, stop, because like the more he barks, the more attention he's bringing to just us. And I'm like, you gotta stop, buddy. Like, please, just like cut it out, because like I don't want them to shut the dog up or something like that. Because then I'm like, yo, bro, watch your mouth. Like it's not that serious. It's a dog. Chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
So it's like, people are just strange, man.
Yeah, no, I gotta tell you, man, like with things like that, you see these videos of like people, robbing, like Altus and stuff like that. I always think about like situations, with situational awareness. I kind of like give myself like an internal awareness of like, what would I do? I'll be honest, I would be very scared to get into a fight, not because I wouldn't be able to like finish the problem. You know what I'm saying? I would be nervous that like they would get seriously hurt.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be like a cocky person. Like I'm just trying to say like, we live in a world where, heroes and stuff like that and sticking up for people is like banished.
Yes.
And you'd be like, well, you gave a perfect example. Like, well, like I fucked him up. It's like, yeah, but you could have just walked away. It's like, I could have, but like the guy was doing this. Like I stopped him. It's like, yeah, you stopped him, but you almost broke his like, you broke 3 arms and 2 legs.
All it takes is one head to get bounced off the cement, and they're in a fucking coma or dead, and now you're on trial for manslaughter.
Yeah, it's scary, man. So like I really get scared about that, because let's say like one day I have a family and kids and stuff like that, and a problem does arise and I do have to do it. We can both face it and call it what it is. We have advanced knowledge and advanced strength, right? We're definitely not average, Nick. I'll tell you that right now. So to have that. Do you hold back? Do you go full force on them? Like, what do you do?
I think it's a reading situation.
Oh, 100%.
You have to just see how things are panning out.
Yeah.
Because if they're, it's just like everyone keeps asking me if I'm going to compete in jiu-jitsu, and I want to.
That's cool.
But
that's good, yeah.
But I know they're not going to sink those submissions slow.
Exactly.
They're going to try to rip my arm off.
Of course, exactly.
It just is what it is, because if they do it slow, their thought process is, well, then I'm just going to roll out of it.
Yeah.
Because they're giving me common courtesy, and I'm just going to roll out of it and say, fuck it.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is the same thing when you're going to be facing an assailant in the street, somebody that's trying to do bodily harm to you.
Exactly correct.
Are they going to stop?
Yeah.
Chances are no, they're
absolutely
not.
not.
So I think in terms of what the best practices are, I think it has to be some type of a restraint, and it has to be something where you can choke them out, like a rear naked choke. I've seen many videos like that. Rear naked choke, hold it, but now you got to hold it for the right amount of time.
Exactly.
Because you hold it too long, now motherfucker's dead.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to really know the limits of things.
Yeah.
And I think that comes with training. I think that comes with just maturity as human beings, because think about like when we were at Nassau Community College together, we are very different human beings since that day.
Yeah.
It is so crazy to look back on me, you, Julio, fucking Chris. Like it is so wild to think back to like how we thought, how we were as individuals and humans, and how our environments and the different paths that we've all taken, although similar in certain ways, very different, how they've changed us and upgraded us and made us different.
Yeah, of course.
So I think it just comes with, the territory of just being like I'm watching a lot of CCW stuff, concealed carry, firearm stuff.
Oh,
so I'm looking at a lot of which one? I know which one you're talking about.
ASP. You ever see ASP?
Yeah, active self-protection.
I love that guy. He is so cool.
He's great.
But do you see like the fucked up situations that like happen on those videos? Yes. It's most of them, granted, are like in Brazil, Peru, like areas where like there's like record crime and gang violence and stuff like that. So that's where it usually comes from. But dude, those are great videos to watch and kind of get yourself through that. Yeah.
When it comes down to it, you have to understand and read situations because
situational awareness.
Dude comes in. Let's say I'm right next to an exit. Dude comes in with a fucking shotgun or a fucking machine gun or a firearm, whatever, and he starts blasting the ceiling.
Yeah,
and just
down,
making threats.
shit like that. Yeah.
Can I get out?
Yeah.
And if I can get out, I have to take that.
Yeah.
I can't just be like, oh, I got my concealed, like it's the fucking Wild West, and pull my gun out and shoot him because now I'm on trial.
Yeah, and not even that, but a lot of the videos, a lot of people that have conceals, they unconceal it in an inappropriate way, and then there's like
or they brandish the firearm, or
it's like,
instead of having their hands up, like hey, they reach for it, and now it's a situation where it's like now
now they're fighting for the gun.
Maybe he was just gonna rob you, and I think it's fucked up. I think that if you have, the means to stop civilians from being able to protect themselves, it becomes a very tough situation.
100%.
I understand the laws though, and I'll always follow them. I'm not going to be somebody that goes against them. That's why I'm doing all the paperwork and I'm doing everything the right way.
Everything correctly.
I'm making sure that I take the proper channels because I don't want to do it the wrong way.
Of course.
And guess what? If a proper doesn't allow me to have it on me, I'm not going to have it on me. Like it just is what it is. Yeah. It's a tough pill to swallow because in other dude, states over, 2 states over, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it gets kind of crazy in that scenario, but you have to understand, and there's a lot of people that'll bitch and complain about it and this and that, but like this is the area that you choose to live in. Yeah, so if you don't want to do that, you can move. Yeah. At any point. And that goes for me too. Like you can move at any point. Yeah. I can move to Florida tomorrow and I don't have to have any paperwork. I can just go get a handgun and call it a day. Yeah. I actually want to do like tournament shooting. I want to do like the actual
You should do it.
Pistol tournaments and stuff like that. I think it's fucking sick.
It's a good time. Yeah. When I was in high school, we would have I was one of the rare schools. I went to Limerick that we had a rifle club. But it wasn't like a 22 rifle. It was like a pellet gun type rifle type thing. It was really cool. Yeah, I joined it. It was a lot of fun. I was really good at it. Then one day, you go to Calverton. Love Calverton.
Calverton's cool.
Great gun range over there. Outdoor gun range, which is nice. Nothing against the Garden City one, but it's indoors. You breathe in that shit.
It's loud.
It's very loud. That echoes. That's a thunderclap, man. So you go over there. You join a couple of rifle clubs. You get better at it and stuff like that too. So I would definitely do that, man. But to go back to the Krav Maga, I think you should do that. I think that's your last piece because you have your weapon that's coming in soon, hopefully. You have your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then Krav Maga is weapon defense, man. I'm telling you, you just get a little taste of that, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm down. I don't know. It's like the time. No, like how much? Because like I go to the HIT class in the morning, and then I do jiu-jitsu either midday or in the evening. Yeah, it's like in between there, I got to take care of the dog and fucking make money.
Actually
make money. Actually be able to make money and do things. So it's just it becomes a constraint of like it's another subscription, another monthly fee that you gotta just try to like dawn on yourself, and then you're spending the money on it. You go, oh fuck, like I gotta use it. I gotta get it going.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
And how's life been with you, bro?
Everything's going well, man. Yeah, I took around the 2 physical therapists that you had on here. I kind of can relate to them, because you maybe for the last couple of years you kind of get caught in that corporate wheel and stuff like that. Now, I'm just kind of trying to get my own cash practice together and stuff like that. Not even really a cash practice. I don't want any type of storefront. I want to do like house calls and stuff like that. So I've been kind of getting that together, still in the corporate world, trying to get out of that as soon as I can. But other than that, I've been doing a lot of certifications. Maybe you can relate to this. For the longest time, I feel like if I was ever complacent, I would feel a certain way. So I kind of summed it up in this sentence, in that, like if there's ever a time where I'm not doing something to better myself, or not even, better myself both physically and mentally, but stress myself to be better, I feel like I'm in this perpetual state of depression and boredom. Yep. Like that's really the best way I can say it. Like I'll give a perfect example. When I was on the first podcast many, many moons ago, I told you I was getting my orthopedic specialization. I got that. After that, it's like one of those things where like once I catch the bone, like I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, what do I do now with this now? So then after that, I got something called a TSAC. It's a tactical strength and conditioning coach. It's pretty cool actually. So what that pretty much does is for people with like military, police, fire department, they all have their levels of activities that they need to do. So you kind of coach them in things like that. Then after that, I got my vertigo specialization. Then after that, I got my...
Which is really cool because I remember I don't know if you
You
remember.
had bad
I had
vertigo. Yeah, what's going on with that, by the way?
No, be good.
Good, fan.
Ironically, that was one of the things I was worried about with jiu-jitsu was the rolling around.
Yes,
And
good
the
point
equilibrium and stuff like that. So years ago, I was going to do jiu-jitsu, and I just got nervous. I was like,
yeah, you had bad symptoms, man.
yeah, I
You're
had bad
crazy.
symptoms. So it was crazy to me that I would I had my episodes and this and that, and then I did a one jiu-jitsu lesson with my buddy. He's a black belt. He brought me down to Soka down in what the fuck are they? Wanta?
Okay.
Wanta area. So it's like I went down there and I rolled, and as we're rolling, I'm just like, oh, these are like, you get dizzy. I'm like, so
like
this,
these types of
you
motions.
you almost feel like you're having a vertigo
100%.
episode. So I almost freaked myself out. So it's the mind, you know?
Of course.
You know, nothing was wrong, but you just think you're like, oh, well, this is what I felt like when I had vertigo. But it's like, bro, you're just dizzy. Just chill out. It's okay. You're gonna be okay.
Of course, yeah.
Even when we do the front rolls in class,
Yeah.
we do front rolls, back rolls before to warm up.
Yeah.
Every time I do the front and the back rolls, you get a little dizzy, and I just go.
Get a little hiccup.
So I think it actually helped me get over the fear of having
So
vertigo.
kind of like desensitize yourself or something like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, trial by fire. So it's
Exactly.
kind of crazy. There's a guy that recently had it, and they had to do the treatments to rebalance the crystals in the ear and everything like that.
Yes, they call that canalith repositioning maneuver because you have like these canals. I guess the way to say it in the medical is canalith. Canal, ITH.
Canalith.
Canalith. Yeah, exactly.
Chris Bumstead podcast. Savage.
So you do that to reposition the crystals to put them back in their place. So I got that certification. Then I got my geriatric certification because they kind of look, when you work with older, more mature people that are well seasoned, it kind of looks good on the resume to be like, oh, like he knows what he's doing a little bit better, than the average guy. Anything like a resume booster. So now I'm at this, this point in time where like, again, I caught the bone and I'm trying to zap myself out of like going for something else. I want to be complacent just for a little bit, and like enjoy these moments because I found that in the past when I got a certification, I didn't enjoy it. I enjoy those moments where I'm like, oh, it feels good. I got this, like, let's see what I can do with this for a little bit. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, let's go for the next one. So I'm trying to.
I think that's just the life. That's just the life that we live, unfortunately.
Well, it's like we live, you and mine.
Think about it.
Get very complacent very quickly.
Yes, and I would agree.
A gift and a curse. Almost,
yeah, I would agree with that. I think I found that let's say. Let's throw it back to the 90s. So not even that long ago. But not that long.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like the 90s, there were tons of people that weren't entrepreneurs, that weren't working for themselves, that were cool with just going and doing the same job. Like my aunt was one of them. She worked at a magazine in the city. Yeah. Every day was the same for her. It was Groundhog Day. Every day was the same. She'd wake up, take care of the kids, go into the city, drive to the train station, take the train in, come home super late, do it all again, all again. There's a lot of people. I feel like now that people don't want to do that anymore. I don't know if it's post-COVID type situation,
could be that,
or if it's just in general they've woken up. I think there's been a mass wake up of everybody on a grand scale of things. Yeah. It plays in part with a lot with COVID, but I find that it's more so on the people that checking the ingredients and things.
Yeah.
People supporting small business versus going for like all the big business. Yeah. People thinking deeper into things. Why? Yeah. What is the government doing to us? Exactly. Why are they doing these things? And who is allowing them to do this? Like why are they unchecked even though they say they're checked, which they're not? Yeah. So it's I think that there's just been a grand scale of people that just don't want to do the same thing every day. Yeah. And I'm one of them. I can't. Even when I do this, even when I'm set in my fucking ways with the video stuff. If I have to come in every single day, sit at the computer, edit videos, this and that, and I don't have any shoots lined up, it becomes monotonous.
Of course.
It's like, if I don't shoot for a week or two because I'm backlogged on edits and I'm just sitting there editing, and even if I'm just getting my training in the morning and I'm going jiu-jitsu at night or whatever, and it starts to feel, Kenji needs his medicine 8 a.m., 8 p.m. It's like, okay, we walk him right after, then we feed him, then we go to the office, then we do this, then we go and walk him again. And you look and you lay in bed after a long day and you just go, what the fuck it's the same day over and over again. I feel like I'm not doing anything.
It's that rat race, man. It really is. That 9 to 5 wheel that you're like, oh my God, I'm doing this and that. And I think we talked about this before, but it's like that seesaw. You're here and you try to transition to your own way. And that's what I'm doing. I'm here right now in the corporate world and I'm trying to slowly teeter myself into this side of what my own business and, doing cash practice and all that jazz. So no, it definitely comes down to that, man. But
what are the steps to get you to do your own thing?
Well, so I like to put things on paper and make them levels, because if I don't see it on paper or if I don't see it in my mind, like I'm not, like I feel like I'm just shooting in the air and hoping I'm going to hit a duck one day. You know what I mean? So right now, pretty much what I'm doing is I'm working in the corporate world, still have my old job and all that jazz. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to teeter this into working with athletes, working with geriatric patients for cash at home. So that's a pretty cool thing about it. What I also have kind of been doing is staying into the athlete world. So really cool thing that happened to me. I was given the opportunity to work with the New York Giants.
Sick.
So really cool stuff. So I call myself a medical auditor. Unfortunately, it's not paid right now. So what are you going to do? But it's a foot in the door, and sometimes you got to make some sacrifices. So pretty much what I do for the New York Giants is the strength and conditioning coach. He comes to me. I go every 4 to 6 weeks to that area, and they say, listen, Antonio, this guy over here, he's peaked, or, do you see that? What I see, like, it looks like he's twinging his knee a little bit. Like, what do you recommend? And what I do is I gather the evidence of what I think it is, or what I'm very confident in is. I never know for certain, because you can't say, like, this is it. Mm-hmm. You have to give a recommendation, right? You can't just make everyone else look bad. You got to be like, well, this is what I think it is. Here is all of the research that shows, maybe his glutes aren't firing as well. So try this, and you let me know what happens. So that's what I do. So it's pretty cool, man. And every like I said, month to 6 weeks, I go to MetLife Stadium. I hang out in the locker room. I watch them train and stuff like that. I write down some things. They bring some things to my attention. I write down some other things. I watch them. And from there, I, rinse and repeat. So that's a cool thing that I'm keeping myself into the athletic world. So it's pretty cool about that. Yeah.
How's that been? Working with the players. It's cool.
It's been a lot of fun. And you know what? I feel like a lot of people think that they train a different way. They don't.
No.
They train the same way that we do, Nick. It's same periodization, it's same transition, it's same deloading weeks. It's the same exact thing. Maybe they're focusing on some different things on different weeks.
And they have the recovery, the means to just have top-notch recovery. So
the recovery is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Man. They got ice baths.
That's what I'm saying.
Cryotherapy chambers.
Yeah.
They got
and they get to use it whenever the fuck they want.
Oh man, man. If I was a billionaire, I would 100% have a recovery room in my room, 100%. But yeah, dude, there's no difference of what we do and what they do. Yes, they're giving better equipment to optimize their training efficiency better. Of course they are. We're a product of what we have. If you have person A that's eating organic and having proper stretching and proper relaxation techniques and recovery techniques, and then someone B that just trains and goes to bed, it's one of those things where of course they're going to have a better efficiency and they're going to have better optimization. But at the end of the day, man, they have a program. They do the program and they go. That's really it. So it's cool to see that even the greats are just like us. They just worked harder than us, or they're working harder for it. So it gives you a cool idea of saying, like, you know what? Anyone can be like that one day. Anyone can do it as long as you just get down to the the nitty gritty, the bread and bones, and you can kill it. So it's cool. Yeah.
What's the favorite recovery tool out of all of them?
They love the massage gun. Massages.
Theraguns?
Yeah. Massage gun.
Send the check.
Send the check, baby. Well, yeah, so Theragun they use Hyper Ice, all that jazz. What's big nowadays is Hyper Ice has like these...
What do you like better? Which brand? Does it matter? Same shit?
It's the same thing. Yeah, maybe... I will say this. Different brands. So I have a cheap $20 Theragun, and then I have a massage gun, and then I have a $400 Theragun, I would say the difference is pretty much is the amount of pressure you can put into somebody, right? So what I mean by that is, let's say I have like the cheap $20 one that I got from Amazon, right? I can push it into somebody that they want more pressure, but the gears will stop. It only has a 20 pounds per pressure push into somebody. Meanwhile, Theragun, I think, has 120. So you really can, like, get in there.
And it still is able to have the RPMs.
Same, yes, exactly correct. So that's the difference. People always say, like, well, what's a better one? There really is no better one or worse one. It just comes down to what are you using for. If you're, like, a glutton for punishment, like I am, like, when I get massages, I'm like, yo, like, go extreme hard on the back. Like, I love that type of thing.
Beat me up.
Yeah, beat me up. Like that, it's what I need. But if you're very gentle, which is completely okay, because I have clients where they're very, sensitized skin, you really can't get away with a lot. That 20 pounds of just gently going over back and forth, that's perfectly fine as well. So
yeah, I need the pressure. I actually bought the chirp wheels. The chirp wheel, have you seen those?
No, what's that?
I'll show you.
Chirp wheel.
I bought it. I didn't need the ones that are like foam rollers that pop your back and help you with the muscle tissue around that.
Okay.
My whole thing is I needed the neck piece that they just came out with to release the suboccipitals.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, what? You have to show me that because that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to buy that because it's very hard without, like manual pressure.
And it doesn't replace that. Like I still,
that's so okay.
But I'll tell you what, man, if I do a bunch of jujitsu and I don't do this at least once or twice a week, my neck gets so tight I start getting tension headaches.
Oh yeah, dude, those tension headaches. There is if somebody knows tension headaches over a regular headache, and I know that's a very confusing thing to say, but I guess
so. What would be the example that you'd give for people to think about a tension headache?
Exactly. Yeah. So a tension headache is something that comes up and around over like this, while like a migraine is like behind the eye. It's like right there, and you almost want to like get behind your eye and massage it, and then pop it back in, something like that. But while you're looking that up, another thing that a lot of them like to use, Hyperice makes it. It's pretty much like pressure leggings. So pretty much what it is, it's this big sleeve that you put on your leg.
You put it on your legs and you lay there.
Yeah, and it's chambered. So chamber
Hyperice and what's the other company, the gold standard company?
I don't know the other company. Hyperice has a really good module. I mean, it's like $600. So if you can afford it, I would highly recommend it. It's really sick, but it's pretty much chambered. So chamber one is in the foot.
It is Hyperice. It's Normatec. That's what it is.
Oh, Normatec. Yes, that's what
it's made by them. I'm sorry.
Yes, no, you're right about that. Yeah, that is another name for that. Yeah. So that thing is sick. I love that thing. And a lot of the players use that a lot.
You find that it helps with like the blood flow and getting things back? Or
it helps out with recovery of the lactic acid buildup. So that soreness feeling that you get after. Ooh. Oh, I know what this is.
That's what you lay your neck on.
Really?
Yeah.
And you find relief of it?
Yeah. Huh. It's got little nodules on it. It's got a couple of different shaped ones. There's like two nubs and then there's two longer diagonal, like it's kind of like angled out inwards.
And when you just lay on it like this,
I lay on it and I just push my head back and forth. Really? I find that if I just lay on it, it's like okay, but like if I really dig it into my neck, like I'll dig it in and I'll move it around and I'll use the different ones. Huh. I get relief, man. I feel good.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, the other ones though I don't love. Like I spent $100 and something on the other ones, and they're like they promised that I'd have some crazy back cracks and this and that.
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah, it's funny like
nothing.
With like technology coming out and this and that. I went to a combined sections meeting for physical therapy the other day, and there was like a debate. It was like, do we think that technology is going to replace us? What's going to happen in the future? And at the end of the day, nah, man. These things are fantastic, but like you said, getting in there, having somebody to just like find that good spot and just work it back and forth. That's
the same thing with AI and video editors.
Yeah,
and creators. It's like, that's the big debate. It's like, are we going to get replaced? It's like, dude, you still got to go out. You still got to shoot. You still have to have the creative eye. It's like AI's, okay, maybe it'll replace a lot of jobs, but those are the jobs you don't want anyway.
Exactly. Correct.
The jobs where people have no soul in it and they don't want that personal touch. It's cool, bro. Like, go ahead. Use the computer system and have a generic piece of content get pumped out left and right. Whatever. All you motherfuckers keep hiring the same lookalike videographers.
Exactly.
Everything looks the same.
It is. It's wild, man. It became, it's the same thing, like copycat. Yeah.
I don't know if I just wrote it down.
Tell me
because I didn't know if we were going to be able to touch it right now. So so I love that thing, the little chirp wheel neck.
Yeah.
Speaking of recovery tools, have you seen the ad on Instagram yet for the bed of nails?
Yes, I have seen the bed of nails. Yeah,
that's like what? So just pumping out anything now.
Yeah. So the theory behind that is there is some type of soundness to it. It actually comes from acupuncture. So
here it is.
Yeah. Let me see what it is. Let me see.
The bed of nails recovery.
Yeah, it's like old plastic nails, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's on QVC too. That's awesome.
God, yeah.
No, I'm looking for the one that the dude was talking about.
Yeah.
It was a very specific name that had me laughing.
Yeah, my
like Shati mat or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. So while you're looking it up, so I'll tell you what pretty much like how that comes down to, and actually where it works.
Shakti mat. Yeah.
Shakti mat. Yeah.
Shakti mat. Send the check.
So there is actually some very mild evidence on that. So where I would recommend that is this. So the theory behind this is that we live in a very, if you have a stressful life or something like that, our central nervous system, you do.
I have a stressful life.
Who doesn't, right? Especially even in New York.
I have a stressful life. I'm smiling and looking at the camera. I have a stressful life.
So, our central nervous system gets heightened, and that causes problems and stuff like that. So it's really a central nervous system desensitization.
Okay.
So what
happens when I get used to the bed of nails?
Exactly correct.
Yeah, so I got to buy the next bed of nails?
You got to get the razor sharp nails now. So
it's made out of lionfish.
I actually use that in one person.
You use that thing?
Yes, but I'll tell you, it's a very specific niche. So unfortunately, what could happen in the world is that like when when you get injured, there are these very specific points where there are a bunch of nerves. And if you hit that bunch of nerves in the correct spot, something called CRPS comes up, which is chronic regional pain syndrome. And what that means is that the body doesn't know what's going on, and it hits all the red flags to say, hey, listen, we're just going to hit this with everything we got. It's going to be insanely painful. And the problem that happens is that if you don't nip it in the butt really, really quickly, the body keeps it for a very long time, 2, 3, even 4 years. So I give a perfect example. I had a patient many, many moons ago. He was a FedEx driver. He fell off the FedEx truck. He hit his knee like on like an angle, like right there, like such a bad spot. And of course, where the swelling occurred was this group of nails. You have your saphenous and all that jazz on the knee. And he got chronic regional pain syndrome. So the way that you do it is you have to desensitize the central nervous system somehow, some way. So you can do really extra painful ways like taking sandpaper and rubbing it on that area. It's a terrible sensation. Or what you can do is what we did, and it did provide relief, which was pretty nice. We took something like that and we just wrapped it around his leg and we just put pressure on it. And we did that for around 20 minutes to a half an hour. And that's the only research that shows that helps out.
How many sessions did that take?
A while.
Yeah.
Probably 20 to 30 sessions. The good thing it just didn't just turn off. It got better and better over time. It still lingered because the body always has to go through that process. But it was enough that he was able to function appropriately. So that's the only time I've ever used something like that. Like if you're asking me like, hey, should I use it? I don't know.
I buy the bed of nails and toss it up for Black Friday.
It's up to you.
I'm just gonna be laying there naked in my apartment, just fucking on the bed of nails. What the fuck's going on in this
American
room?
Psycho style.
Yeah.
It's like,
Don't worry about it. I'm desensitized.
Desensitized, leave me alone.
Just desensitized things. All right, time to flip.
Yeah. But if you ever want to try something with that, go for it. It's not going to cause anything crazy or anything like that. But yeah, that's the only time I had experience with that, which was a very unicorn-like neurological patient, which was very challenging. So fortunately, it worked out for him. So
the bumps and bruises with jiu-jitsu, I find to get different weird sensations and issues. And
100%.
And that, like I keep feeling my left knee on the inside. I keep feeling like not pain, but tight because I've been locked on that a couple of times.
Yeah, of course.
And the other thing that I have is I got taken down probably about a month ago. It's finally better, but it's still tight here and there.
Yeah.
I got kid couldn't get me down. I kept stuffing his arm every time he tried it. Like we both had collar ties on each other over the top.
Okay.
I was holding with my right. He was holding with his left.
Yeah.
Collar ties, and he kept trying to come across me, and I kept stuffing his arm.
Really?
So finally, he double shot underneath, took me down completely, which was great move. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly.
The issue was I landed on my back, which was fine.
Yeah.
But my left leg, my right leg, I kind of landed on my side. My left leg was totally bent, like this, totally bent, and my foot hit the mat totally flush and then like bounced off from the ricochet of it. So like ever since then, my left knee, it's not even the knee. I was, Nick and Scott think it was my hamstring. Behind it, just it doesn't hurt at all.
Yeah.
But if I bend it in totally and I touch my calf to my hamstring, or I squat down all the way super, super low, like ass to grass, that's when I feel a little bit of discomfort on that back left area of the knee.
Back left area of the knee,
Yeah.
That's so the back of the knee is like the lower back of like the leg. There is so many things that go into there. You have 3 muscles already that are coming from your hamstring, right? You have your semitendinosus, memoris, and the bicep femoris, long head, short head, all those that go into there. Then you have the muscles from the calf. Right, from the shin. So you have your calf, you have your peroneals, you have this muscle that's the popliteus that locks
meeting right there.
So the back of the knee is a pain in the ass to really go into and decipher. You really need some time. I'm sure the other physical therapists have done this well, but you really have to kind of just sift through one muscle at a time.
I haven't ever since then. I haven't gone to them yet for that.
Yeah, I would definitely check that out. Yeah, what's interesting enough is that if you have a problem with it during deep
flexion,
that would make me kind of believe like deep bending.
Bending.
Right? Yeah, so bending it all the way. Like let's say if you're laying on this table, I would bring the back of my heel to my butt, right?
Yes, that's
or
when
a deep
I feel
squat.
it.
You feel
but when
it
I
there.
first felt it was when it was overextended.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So that kind of leads me to one of two things. It could be either meniscal, which, it doesn't really sound like that.
I'm running and I'm grappling multiple times a week and it's not stopping me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Or it could be some type of mobility issue, meaning that when you hit your leg off of the mat totally has flush. That bounce, right? It could have just, I don't want to say like subluxural joint or anything like that because that's not really what it is, but it probably
maybe overextended it.
Yeah. So what it could have done is the kinematics of movement could have been altered in a way, and that's a good situation because all you got to do is kind of just have to manipulate it back and the other way. And when I say manipulate, I'm not talking about like like that. It's more
chop
like
it right in.
Just like move it around a little bit and stuff like that. But definitely let them look at that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Or I'll have you look at it.
I'll look at it too. That's fine. Get on the table, Nick. Let's do it right now.
All right, guys. So today we're going to cut to a commercial break.
Yeah, it's cool, man. But yeah, that's so to kind of bring it all back, that's what my my big claim to fame is right now. The New York Giants thing, which is pretty sick. And
so what does that blossom into? Does it work? Does it blossom into individual player work? Does it working on individual players? Yeah. Are you able to cultivate relationships with them like that?
So the cool thing about it is I've been able to cultivate relationship and talk with them and stuff like that. Obviously there's an NDA, so I can't tell you who it is. I can't have to post or anything like that. So that's like the unfortunate part about it. I would love to be like, So hopefully it blossoms into something more, maybe assistant strength and conditioning coach because I work with him already.
I don't know if you know, I had Joe Giacobbe on the podcast.
Yes, I do. That was very cool.
Joe is the shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe is a Jet strength and conditioning coach.
Yes, he is. Yes. The strength and conditioning coach that I work with now, his name is Craig Fitzgerald. Great guy. He just got there from Texas. It's the second year doing it, so he's pretty cool. So what could that do? Honestly, I would love to get paid for what I do. I'll be honest with you. Like I have one of my mentors, he is doing what I do for the Carolina Panthers. So the name that he has, it's like the director of medical sciences or something like that. And pretty much what he's doing is what I'm doing. A injury happens, like you're the quarterback, Nick. Oh my goodness. Oh, perfect example, Daniel Jones, right?
Was it a neck injury for him?
No, he had an ACL tear.
Oh, he had an ACL tear?
Yeah, he's out for the season now. That's public knowledge, so I can talk about that. So he's out. So pretty much what my mentor's mentor, Rob, he does for the Carolina Panthers is they come to me like, listen, Rob, like this guy's fucked up now. Like, what do you do? How long do you think it's going to take for this ACL to get better? Same thing. What he'll do is he'll do all the research, be like, all right, listen, he has X, Y, and Z. He's an elite athlete. This is what I recommend. I recommend 6 months back onto the field, additional 3 months. He'll be killing it once again, So that's what he does. So I would love to do that. That's the goal to, have that type of benefit. That'd be really, really sick. But at the moment, just kind of getting my my bread and butter.
Making your bones.
Exactly correct. Not trying to step on any toes or anything like that. I'm just a shadow over here. If you need me, listen, I'll be watching from far. Yeah. You give me somebody to watch. You'll be like, okay, there he is. Watch, watch Kenji. See like how does he do a pivot, or when he shoots up, like what do you think? And I'll be like, hey, listen, this is what I think. This is what the research shows. Here's a packet. Boom. Let me know what you need. If
opportunities arise for you to do something.
Oh, I would love that, man. Yeah. That's probably be down the line, because
you're young, dude.
Yeah, exactly correct.
You got plenty of time.
I'm excited about that.
But that's the issue. We think that we need to have that shit and get it going right now. It's like, Yeah,
man. You know what? Social media makes us look like that. It's like if you're not a millionaire right now, you're not doing it right. It's like, dude, like what
so I frequently browse the Reddit forums for money.
Really?
Yeah, there's a money forum where they'll give it financial advice.
Okay, cool.
And that.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite things is just like you'll see these astronomical claims of people are fucking lying.
No, of course they are. Yeah.
It's like dude says 20 years old, 600,000 in the bank. What should I invest in? It's like the fuck. Yeah. So like people started posting real things. Yeah. So it's like $1.86 in the savings account.
No, seriously, man. It's true though. I would not trust anyone behind the keyboard. I really would. Yeah. Maybe 10% of the people would be like, if you show me something that's cool, I'll definitely check it out.
Kenji, come here.
Smelling the Snickers.
Come here, man. Go over here. Come over here. Leave him alone. His fucking tail goes. Come here.
I know, right? He's so adorable.
Come over here. Come here, fathead.
Stretching out.
Hey, buddy.
But I wouldn't trust anybody. I want to see tangible proof.
Yeah.
I really. I'm not buying into anything.
I'm gonna hit him. I'm gonna DM him on the side. Yo, let's go to the ATM together. Let me check that balance. Yeah, I don't believe that.
Especially as I get older, man, like I value time so much, Nick.
I'll tell you what I've done. I started doing as a businessman and time-wise is I used to never pay myself.
What do you mean?
Since I've opened my company, I've never paid myself.
Oh, okay.
I've never paid myself. I've never like the money's in my business account.
Yeah.
But I use it for the business generally. And
Really?
my rent and stuff like that, I pay it all out of the business. Yeah. I've never like taken that money and given it to myself, like in my savings account to be able to like start using it and accruing it and investing it in different ways. Because for a long time, I didn't really know that I was supposed to do that, I guess. I just kind of money came into the business account. I just sat there and I was like, okay, cool. I'll use it for paying off this card and buying this piece of equipment and this and that. So it's like now, since July, I started paying myself, and I'm like, every job that comes in,
even the benefits. Yeah.
Every job that comes in, 20%, 20%,
Good.
20%.
Yes. You do you do the 50, 30, 20 rule?
Nope. But I just.
I was so excited. I thought you did it.
I know roughly about it, but I don't.
You should do that. It's really helpful.
I don't practice it like that. I should. There's a lot of things that I need to do. Yeah. You said the seesaw method. It's like I prioritized my health so much the last 8 months. You see how he's looking at me?
He's like, "What's good, bro? You want to make a move? You got a problem?
I'm fucking worry about it." I prioritized my health so much that like my business not failed or started having problems, but I just wasn't focusing as much on getting new clients, and I was kind of just like staying complacent. I was like, whatever, like I'll just do my same shoots and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it's like now I'm kind of evening it out now. Now that the office is here, it's like the business is coming back up and I'm trying to keep everything just nice and even. So I have to get on my personal finance game. I paid off a ton of fucking cards that I had. And it's not that I don't have the money. I didn't want to take huge chunks out of my my business account. I was just like, I'd like to keep it as a very, very 2-year worth of nest egg of just like, God forbid something happens, I have the abilities and the means to just keep paying things and this and that. And oh, fuck it, that card, I'll pay that off later. I'll do that. But then it's like, you start looking and you're getting dinged with interest every month. And that
interest is a bitch, man.
I'm
20%.
I'm like, why am I getting fucked over here?
I know.
I'm like, why am I'm paying $2,000 here, but it's like, the balance is back up. Why is it back up? Oh, well, you used it at the grocery store. You used it here. And then the interest hit. And then it's like, you're right back to way worse than where you started a month ago. Yeah. So it's like, this is how people get into fucking bad debt.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's
so recently I just said, fuck it, dude. I started taking out $5,000, $6,000 chunks real quick. Here you go. $5,000 to you, $5,000 to you, $5,000 to you. Bring it down. And now I'm feeling like, nice. You can breathe a little bit. But then it's like, I paid off all my debts. That new microphone looks kind of nice for $800.
No, listen, man. You know,
buy one thing and you just go, fuck, the card's back up.
It's true, man. You know, it's really easy to get into debt and stuff like that.
I mean, you buying fucking bed and nails and shit. Man, expensive out here.
It's for the patients, you know.
For the patients.
Tax write-off.
Yeah, tax write-off. What were you using it for? Laying naked in my apartment. What are you talking about?
I mean, Mr. Johnson.
You know. No, I mean, we have clothes on, I swear.
Yeah.
Don't take my license.
I forgot who said it on the podcast. He had such a cool comment. I think he said idle hands is the devil's workshop.
Yeah, who said that?
I don't know. But you had
I cranked them out. I cranked them out the last right when I moved my office.
But it's true, you know.
I cranked them out, but and I started talking to so many people that people would go, yo, just listen to this podcast. I go, what did I say? I just want to make sure I said everything that was okay.
Yeah, no, this was probably like a year and a half ago, something like that. It was one of the bodybuilders that you interviewed. Yeah, but
maybe it was Kareth.
Man, I don't know, man. I'm sorry. Yeah,
but
it was a really cool quote. He also said he had like a really lot of nice quotes. He said also, it's a cold world, but I want to control my temperature.
Oh, it's Dre.
Yeah, dude, that was a really cool quote.
Fucking Andre, yeah.
If he's listening to this, man, I would recommend him just making a book of all his like quotes, and I would just fucking read that.
Yeah, it's cold world, but I'm gonna control the temperature.
Dude, that was such a cool thing. I'm like, holy cow, that fucking hits really hard, man.
Yeah, Dre's the line king. He just throws them out. He's got them left and right.
Fucking bars, that guy. I hope he kills it with those lines, man. Yeah. Damn. But yeah, as I gotten older in life, man, like time really has been very valuable to me. I'm going to tell you a very brief, depressing story. I do apologize. We'll bring it right back into it. So during COVID,
I know. For those that are listening, I mean, you can't see on the video anyway. Yeah, Kenji's behind me just having a tantrum.
He's
just tight. He's just like, yo, you've been out all day. You've been at jujitsu. Now we're sitting here doing a podcast. Hang out with me. Take me out. I want to piss on shit.
Exactly.
So go on. I'm sorry.
No, it's completely okay. So during COVID and stuff like that, my mom recently got diagnosed with multiple myeloma. So, you know, she has good days and bad days. So,
what is that? I'm sorry.
No, it's completely okay. So multiple myeloma, in essence, is there's a bone in your body that's creating cancerous plasma cells.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it spreads, right? So the good thing is if you nip it in the butt and you find the bone, you can you know
do it like a bone transplant or a marrow transplant.
Well, you could do that if it gets to a bad level. What you do is you do chemo and radiation, kind of zap the spot. So that's what my mom's kind of going through right now.
Not to cut you off and throw you off, but have you seen the South Korea study? I don't know how legit it is.
What is it?
They have a machine that'll actually just zap the cancer.
That's fucking wild.
Without chemo.
That's wild.
No chemo.
Really?
Zap the cancer.
I will definitely look into
right at the source.
If you can send me that link, I would love to see that. That's
don't know where I saw it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look right now. Hold on.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Before you continue.
Okay, gotcha.
Hold on 1 second. South Korea.
South Korea, cancer treatment maybe?
Cancer zapper.
Yeah, cancer zapper.
Cancer laser. Yo, don't hit my tripod.
Kenji, look at that. Look at that sass.
Come here, stay over here.
That's a sass.
Don't bargain him. Proton therapy, the new face of cancer treatment. Visit Korea. Is that maybe it?
I'll check that out. Proton therapy. Makes sense.
Korea's Speclips lands $8 million for real-time cancer diagnosis with laser.
Damn,
maybe that's what it is.
Okay, I'll definitely look into this more. I was not aware of that at all.
Yeah, just to give like a little bit of. Sorry to cut you off. Just to give a little bit of substance, if this is what it is, the non-invasive screening for cancer. So this is a screener.
Okay.
But there's supposed to be one that zaps it. Startup company in Korea, Speclips. It's like Spe and then Eclipse combined.
Okay.
A startup company in Korea with a laser-based approach to rapid screening for the most dangerous form of skin cancer has closed a round of venture funding worth $7.7 million. That's not what I was talking about.
Okay.
But I'll have to find it.
Please do.
I
would love to
send
see
it to you.
Yeah.
Please continue. I'm sorry.
No, it's completely okay. So I guess the reason why time has been like so valuable to me in looking at stuff like that is because of that, right? You know, so that happened. Give it applause. He's not even fuck that donut. I want to hear this story.
I want to hear this story.
So that's what pretty much happened. So from there, you know, my mom is on medication. She has good days and bad days. Really just depends on stuff like that. So I kind of like, you know, help her out with hospice and all that jazz. And now he's got it. And so this is how kind of like my life kind of turned a little upside down a little bit with time. So I would work a corporate job and do 40 hours. Then I would do home cares, which was additional 20 to 30 hours to make money to help pay the bills for the medicine. I would want to be with my mom. But then I need to make money to help my mom, but I wasn't able to be with my mom because I had to make money. And I was in this really fucking depressing cycle that I was like, I don't know what to do now. Like I'm getting stressed. I'm losing time with my mom. Like, what do I do? So that really, you know, she's doing well right now, thank God.
Good.
So, you know, things are going okay with that. You know, but it's one of those things where, you know, when one medicine works, it'll work for a while and then it won't. And then I have to go to another medicine and that, you know, it's more expensive because.
Sounds like his epilepsy.
Exactly correct. That's a perfect example of that. So I was really stuck in this, like, you know, I was getting like raped of time. That's like the best way. And I know it's a derogatory way of saying it, but that was the best way of saying it. I was getting, you know, ripped away from time with my mom because I had to make money for my mom and so on and so forth. And, you know, so that's really how I valued time. So now it's one of those things where, you know, I would rather pay, you know, Amazon Fresh to give me the groceries, to spend extra 1 hour doing X for my mom or something like that, and so on and so forth. So that really gave me an all-encompassing idea on how valuable time really comes. I come to the point where I would absolutely rather spend double to the triple amount of money for a service to come to me to spend time with family rather than going out, going to freaking King Kong or whatever it is. Oh, you know, the beans. No, I'm not looking for this. I'm looking for something else. Got to go here and there, spend an hour or two, even with laundry. You know, like I'll send laundry out now because it's gotten to the point where I value time so much that I'd rather spend more to have what I want to do with my mom. So it comes down to that. Yeah. So that's how I got it. Yeah.
I agree because, I'll fuck my carpet up. I agree because I send my laundry out for numerous reasons. Number one, the jiu-jitsu stuff gets funky.
Yeah,
it gets
of course. When you roll around on the mats,
if you don't wash it within a day,
it smells bad.
Whoa, and it's like
potent.
It's like venom. It like goes up to your other clothes.
Yeah,
it starts like infecting them. Oh, what the fuck? This shirt now smells like jiu-jitsu. So I send, and I don't have a washer dryer in my apartment, so I send out to laundromats all the time.
Totally.
Sometimes I'll give it to my mom; she'll do it, stuff like that. But which I appreciate.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't always get to her, so I'd rather just do that. I actually was having this debate with a buddy of mine for like Instacart.
Okay, yeah,
because that's another service, like for groceries.
Yeah, exactly correct. Yeah,
I'm on board for it, but I'm cool with it. But then I look and I'm like, there's no way that I'm spending almost $300.
I know
$300 on groceries.
Right. It's expensive.
There's no way. What is the markup on this? I need to
really
know.
100%.
But I agree in terms of like saving time and being able to justify it, and that's also how you get to the place of charging more for your clients.
Exactly correct. Yes.
Your time is valued at X, but we have to. Did he just throw the toy?
He
at me?
did. He's like, motherfucker. Give me this fucking donut.
I'm so needy today. I can't play with you right now. You get to the point where you're just like, this job that I used to charge $500 for.
Yeah.
It's like now this is a $1,200 job.
Yeah.
$1,000 job.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and do the same work for that price. And it's just like, you have to be okay with that, because now you're going to get a different caliber of client over time. Like the original clients that you start working with, you're like, oh shit, like I'm losing some of the old clients, but it's like the new guard comes in and everybody else, it just works out like that.
Yeah.
So that, with time, especially, that's like super important for you in your field.
Of course. Yeah. No. And I'll tell you a crazy thing on how this was a very big eye-opening thing. So I had 2 jobs, the 40-hour and then the side hustle as well. So I went to the side hustle. I said, listen, no offense to you guys, but I'm in a situation right now that I need more money. I do. I need to make more because my mom, I gave him the spiel. I said, listen, my mom is sick. Like I need money for X, Y, and Z. I really do. So this was crazy. This was an eye-opening thing to me. And I'll forever remember how I do this, because this changed the way I work now. They said, like, listen, we can't. I'm really sorry, we can't. And I said, listen, I'm going to leave if you don't do this. So they said, give me a moment. While I was there was a student that was working in there. They came out of the office. They said, let's say her name is Karen. Karen, come here real quick. They spoke to her. They gave her the job.
Yeah.
And they said, listen, we're going to have to let you go then. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
I worked so hard.
You're fucking replaceable.
For this company. I was put in 3 years. I've sacrificed things that I regret indefinitely to this day, to the day that I die, of things with my mom and dad and my sister and all that jazz, and they replaced me in 20 minutes.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck about you.
So now it's one of those things where, you know what, and I'm in a little bit of a bitterness right now. I'm getting out of the bitterness, thank God, because another quick story, I went to Catholic school, I went to religion class, I prayed for enemies, Nick. I prayed for people that I fucking hated, that did such wrong to me in life, and I was like betrayed. I felt like I was betrayed from God. I was like, God, you kidding me right now? I hoped for people that harmed my family, for them to be better. And you fuck me like this? How fucking dare you do that? I was so annoyed about it. I get choked up just thinking about it right now. And I'm getting out of that bitterness, because that kind of ignited such anger with me and stuff like that over the whole situation. And you can't be angry all the time. You can't, because that eats at you. It really does.
That's a cancer in its own.
It is. I'll tell you another thing about that after this. So now my motto is this, to stay under the radar, to do what you're paid to do, and go home.
Yeah.
There's the other day, they're like, hey, holiday pay, you want to do extra hours? No, I don't.
No, I'm good.
I want to go home with my mom.
Yeah, I want to go chill. I want to be able to have my alone time. I want to have my time at the apartment.
Yeah.
It is that was something that I used to let clients take advantage of me left and right. And I had a client that I worked with for a long time, and it's not so much. I have to be careful of my wording, because I don't want this to seem like, a lot of people are going to know because I've talked to them about it. But I don't want this to seem like animosity, because it isn't. I truly don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a client that I've worked with for a long time. And the person that hired me wasn't the client.
Okay.
So it was the manager.
Okay.
So I would deal with the manager. And the manager was the one that would set the shoots up, set this and that, oh, you're going here with him, you're doing this, you're doing that. Great, cool. There was a lot of trips that I took that were not planned properly.
Of course.
That were last fucking minute.
Yeah, I'm sure, man.
That were...
You sacrificed a lot.
Hey, you're going to go on a flight tomorrow. Yeah. Meanwhile, it's we've had 2 months to plan for this. It's why do I have to take this flight? Why couldn't I have taken a more convenient flight during the time?
Yeah.
And just things were not planned properly. Yeah. And, the most recent one was Easter. It's I left Easter with my family.
That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah.
Could be my grandmother's last Easter.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I left Easter
fucking eats at me. Think about
to go on a trip.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did I go? I don't remember where I went. It was international. I just don't remember where I went.
So it was out of the States. Yeah.
Oh, I remember where I went. Yeah, if I say it, it's going to get.
Don't worry about
so
it.
it's like, because you know what? It's not that I'm transparent about everything. It's just like it's not even worth
don't
the
even bring
conversation
it back
of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, international, leaving on Easter.
Yeah.
Taking an Uber from my aunt's house to
sacrificing family time.
JFK to then now sit on a flight for 12 hours and then be a fucking slave for a week and then come back on a shit flight again and then just, right back into life. And I was cool for a long time. There's a lot of videographers that come into the industry. They stay for 2 years. They whore themselves out. They do everything. I took some of this person's clients, or I'm working with who this person used to work with. And then they're tired of getting whored out. Yeah. They realize that they're not making the money that they thought they were going to make. Yeah. And it's really their own fault because they didn't charge. After a certain amount of steps, you have to up the fucking price. You have to up your game because you theoretically are buying. Sorry, I spit on you. You're theoretically buying.
Go on.
You're buying more gear. You're getting better. You're able to do things faster. You're learning different things. Yeah. You should be charging more as you go on. But to these dudes, they get too set into like, I'm charging this rate, I'm this, and they let the people that we're working with overstep their boundaries. Mm-hmm. Hey, can I get another edit for the same price? Hey, can I get the raw footage? Yeah. Hey, can I get this? Can I get that? And they just go, fuck it. Like with the thought process of I'm gonna work with this person continuously forever. Yeah. Nah, bro, they don't give a fuck about you because that same client that I work with, he's already working with a different video guy. Sure. And guess what?
God bless you.
Oh my God. Enjoy, dude. Yeah. Like I truly couldn't be bothered anymore because it was like that point of, do I want to keep getting disrespected? Do I want to keep dealing with shit like that? Biting my tongue, sitting there, being undervalued for the amount that I'm given.
Exactly.
If I want to keep doing that, then it's cool. Then you just keep going. Yeah. Or do you just allow the next chapter to come in where I'm doing a lot of corporate stuff now? Mm. Corporate stuff is fucking mint. Let me tell you.
Oh, I'm sure.
Bro.
Yeah.
One day, what some people's 3 months worth of salary is, one day of work, if that. Yeah. I had a job that I went down to Philly. Job in Philly.
Oh, yeah. Philly. Yeah.
Philly.
That's cool.
It's a great job.
Yeah.
Fantastic job. Went down to Philly. Filmed for, I want to say, a consecutive 30 minutes. Consecutive. I was there for 5 hours. I got there at 11:30. I left by 4:45. Yeah. I was in the car driving back. The traffic was worse.
I know.
Was longer than the actual shoot.
I'm sure.
Okay. 30 minutes of collective footage, if that. And it was like a crazy job. It was like one contract for the month. Like that's how much it was.
Good for you, man.
And I just was like, this is great.
Yeah, no, it is.
This is great. Yeah. I don't have to run around an expo and whore myself out and do things. I'm like, wow, this is fucking awesome. So it's like, is it boring? Oh, without question. Is it like hard? No, not even a little bit. Like I even talked to a woman there. I said, this is like, I'm used to having a
craziness.
I'm used to having a film for like 17 hours straight and then having to edit the entire day as a vlog that we release the next morning.
The next day, exactly.
Yeah, I go, wow, this is great. I said, please keep calling me. They loved it. It was actually, I didn't sign anything so I can talk about it. It was actually for the Ozempic drug maker.
Oh, wow. Ozempic. That's why I know it's epic. That's really wild, man. Holy cow.
They're interviewing doctors.
That's cool, dude.
With new studies. So I was like, oh, this is beautiful. I said, please keep calling me.
Let me tell you, man, there's something I know is the medical field, they have bottomless.
Look, I brought the lights. I brought the lights. I had multi-camera set up. I said, let me spritz this up for y'all.
Yeah,
y'all are going to take care of me. I'm going to take care of you.
You want some water?
Yeah. Anybody? I put a maid outfit on. Anybody? Fluffer? Anybody want fluffing? Yeah. So it's just, that you have to start taking these things into consideration and going, where am I valued most?
You're right.
And once again, like having a job like that for me, that's one day of work.
Yeah.
One day of work. And then the next day I edited. And it took maybe 6-7 hours to like get the interviews polished up and this and that.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say 2 days of work.
Okay.
2 days of work for what somebody would normally take to make in 2 months.
That's awesome, dude. That's fantastic.
And that's not boast. And I know you don't think that. I have to reiterate this for people that are listening. Mm-hmm. That is not a boast. That is something to get you excited about what you can make.
Do. Yeah.
What you could, with the potential of earnings that you'd be able to do. Yeah. Like that. There's so much money that just goes unaccounted for,
100%.
And people are willing to spend it. You just have to show them that I can deliver what you need fast,
Yeah.
efficiently,
Yeah.
quality.
course.
We could do all of this,
Yeah.
and I'll do it all for you. This is what it costs. And, and the people that are serious, they'll be like, here's my money. Please take it. They're not going to be the ones that are going to hound you like the other editor, the editors that I know. They're not going to be the ones that go after you send it to them. They go, hey, can we change the music? Can we do this? Can we do that? Hey, can I just take this out? My chin doesn't look good here. This, that. They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. Those real clients are just going to be like, how much is it? Let's just say 10 grand.
No, you're right.
10 grand. Great. Here you go. We'll see you on the date to shoot.
Yeah.
Done. No fucking headaches.
Yeah.
No bullshit.
Yeah.
Easy going.
No, you're right, man. It's true. And that's something that I've learned through that hard time that I was in. You know, like to go back to what I was saying, like, you know, I was very like just angry at the whole situation and stuff like that. And what I learned is to how to value yourself. You know, I'll give you an example. Like these two quotes really resonate with me. And it comes from Batman. Batman Begins. So Ra's al Ghul is talking to Batman. And he's like, you know, you have to be very careful because, you know, anger is a great emotion, but it can also lead to terrible things that you do to yourself. So you have to be very careful with that. And that goes into another quote that I understood that really resonated with me as well. He goes, as some type of psychologist said this, he goes, you know, the emotion that loves you the most is anger. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, that's like, you know, anger is a big deal. He goes, well, anger, when you get angry. You're up.
I
want to hear this.
I tried so hard to keep that together. I'm sorry, guys.
Let's hear the story. No.
Say it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they bring it back. So anger is the emotion that loves you the most. And the reason why is because whenever you're angry or something like that, you know, that's your body and your mind saying like, listen, you know, this happened because they didn't do this, or, you know, you should do better or something like that. You know, so whenever that was, when I heard that, it all made sense to me, those 3 years of, you know, my mom's still alive, thank God. But I'm saying like those 3 years of having, you know, that anger, that animosity to the big man up top of, you know, why this happened and all that jazz, as well as there's something that I've kind of figured out and why, you know, silver linings happen is because when that happened, when the job let me go and all that jazz, I found out how to value myself, both financially and non-financially, you know, like what makes me feel good, you know, yoga, meditation, this and that brings the body down a little bit, as well as how much I really am worth. You know, when I saw, looking back on that job and how much that I was paying, are you kidding me? I have, you know, not to boast or anything like that, but the amount of credentials that I've had, you know, if I would have told you what I was getting paid, you'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's ridiculous.
Pennies on the dollar.
Yeah. So going through all that, going through what happened with my mom, it really kind of enlightened me on who I am, what all these emotions kind of mean, and what I'm worth. And you know what? It really worked out. There's a really cool quote. It goes, it goes, cancer is nephros to life. What that pretty much means is that, and this is something that blows my mind too, is that before my mom got cancer, I wasn't living, right? You know, I just had the 9-to-5 job. And once I found out that my mom, you know, has this and, you know, she might die and all that jazz, we started to live. So it was a weird situation where you have to know that either you're going to die or someone you love is going to die to live. It's such a wild, backwards way of thinking. And I'm very fortunate enough to know this at such a young age, because who knows, I might have like a midlife crisis or something like that at 50
I already had
years
one.
old. Yeah, right, seriously.
I already had one.
And then you start to live. And it's one of those things where now you know where the value is. It's time, it's family, it's loved ones, people that support you. And the cancer kind of did that. It was nephros to life, meaning that, you know, now that you know you're dying, you're going to live. You know, I think there's another saying in Japan, I forgot what it is, but it goes, after death, you live. Pretty much means like when you know you're going to die, you live. So that's what it was. So it really helped out. So.
Yeah, once you realize that there's a clock ticking, and that you have a limited amount of time, a limited amount of weekends, a limited amount of everything, like you just start to realize that I have to take these things more seriously.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I have family members who will say, like, why don't you invite random girls over and this and that. And, you know, listen, I love my cuz. Like he means it from what, you know what I'm saying? Like he means it from love. From love. He's not trying to be a dick. He's just trying to be like, yo, like, why don't you invite these girls over that you see in town or blah blah blah. And I just go, because I'm just not interested.
Yeah.
If I know I have a limited amount of time left, like just in general as a whole, like I don't need to spend it with randoms and you know, getting laid or do that. It's not worth it to me. That energy exchange isn't clean and whatnot.
Man. You're right.
Make sure he doesn't fucking step on the cables. All right, yeah, because
no, I know. I think it was that.
So it's like I would rather spend those nights by myself, playing Xbox, hanging with the dog, having Tyler or you or anybody over that I'm going to have good dialogue and hang out and have fun. Yeah. And it's just like, you know, maybe that keeps me single longer. Maybe that inhibits my ability to find a girl and stuff like that. But at the same time, it safeguards my energy. Yeah. And that's what I'm big on.
Of course.
I'm big on safeguarding that energy. I always was, more so even now. Like I can't handle the fakeness. I can't handle the people that use other people for their time. Yeah, man. The energy suckers and energy vampires is the best term for them. It's just like, I don't want that type of stuff around me. I'd rather keep my time to the T.
For you. It's keep your time for your time. Yeah.
Podcast. After this today, I have some edits that I need to do, but I'm going to start them tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going to do them tomorrow because tomorrow's Monday. I'm going to enjoy one more day where I get to play PlayStation, play Call of Duty, hang out with the dog, this and that. Like I want to just chill. Yeah. I'm done having to, like my mom said, dinner with grandma at 5:30. Maybe I'll go to that. Like I want to be able to just do things that make me happy. Yeah. I don't want to just be a slave to the system, a slave to the phone. Yeah, I try not to consume content on the phone anymore. I've said it on multiple podcasts. Yeah. I really don't. He fuck with my backdrop? I think he did. He always fucks with my backdrop. Can you just stop? I know. You want to go out. I know. We're going to go out in a few. I'm a producer of content. I'm not somebody that's going to consume it. Like there are certain people that they pop up all the time and it's like one or two of the quick quote, like stories and whatnot that I'll watch. Yeah. But after a couple, I have to, get the fuck off the app because it's just too much. Yeah. And then 5 seconds turns into 3 minutes, 3 minutes turns into 20 minutes, 20 minutes turns into an hour turns into 3. And you're just all of a sudden, you're just like, wow, we're wondering why our attention span and just life is just whizzing by us. It's like I sat here looking at this metal glass device, just with my thumb moving like this, just a fucking zombie. Yeah. Zombie. Yeah. That's why the fasting is good. Yeah. Yo, get away from there. That's why the fasting is good. Yeah. The fasting just resets the brain.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Resets the stomach. Yeah. You know, we were going to touch on that. Yeah. Tyler and I decided, I've done a lot of 16-hour fast, 8 hours eating window. Okay. Not religious. I'm not like every single day. I just do it here and there. Yeah. Then I started experimenting with every time I'd have a cheat meal back in the day with bodybuilding, I'd have a cheat meal and my body would just get blown out, holding a ton of water, feeling like shit, feeling lethargic, this and that for the next 2 or 3 days. Oh, wow. But then it's like 2 or 3 days and then all of a sudden it's like a couple of days of clean eating again. Yeah. And I'm back to eating another cheat meal. And it's like we keep repeating. So I started experimenting with the fasting in terms of I'll have a cheat meal. I'll eat whatever the fuck I want for the afternoon, evening, early evening. Stop at 5 o'clock. Stop at 5, 6 o'clock latest. Yeah. Fast until 2 o'clock the next day. Nice. Wait. Everything restabilizes overnight where I don't feel like it's 2 or 3 days to recover. Now it's like a couple of hours and I'm done. Yeah. And then I did a 24-hour fast just to see. I stopped just shy of 23 hours because I had jiu-jitsu in an hour and I didn't want to just like I didn't want to I didn't want to do 24 hours and then do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, you'd be fucked up like that. Yeah.
And I felt good. I felt a little fucking off later on that night. I just felt a little weird. Yeah. And then after Thanksgiving, right before Thanksgiving, Tyler was going, yo, why don't we do a 24-hour fast? Mm-hmm. So Tyler, my buddy Gabe, my buddy Nick, the other PT.
Cool. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So we all he messaged us saying, yo, I want in. I said, okay, cool. So
it's fun.
We all just did it. And the first 24 hours, totally fine.
Yeah, usually that's what it is.
Yeah.
The 1 day is easy.
Once I hit 36 hours out of the 36, 38 hours, stomach just felt empty. Yeah. I would have roller coaster rides of clarity, mental clarity to then like not depression, but just feeling off and then
malaise,
lethargic. Yeah, just kind of like glazed over. And I was at two shoots yesterday. So I did 2 shoots while I was.
Oh, wow. That's pretty good. That's
didn't train yesterday. I trained during the 24. Didn't train yesterday. And then last night, Tyler told me that we were supposed to go to the bars, like the girls that he knew wanted to hang out and stuff like that. I was like, all right, cool. So I cut my fast off at like 46 hours. So just shy of 48 hours. Okay. Because I didn't want to break the fast at 8:30 p.m. and then go out because I knew I was going to have to go to the bathroom. I knew that. And so I sipped some bone broth. I kind of just for 15 minutes to get my stomach acclimated to having stuff besides water and coffee in there.
Of course.
And then I did the bone broth. Then a half hour later, I did 2 tablespoons of almond butter.
Nice. Just transition back into it.
Then an hour after that, I fucking know. I didn't go off the rails, but I ate a lot for what it was.
Yeah, you know.
I had a bag of Quest chips, which is 20 grams of protein, 5 grams of carbs.
Okay.
So I was trying to be conscious of the carbs.
Yeah, of course.
High fat, high protein. That's what I was trying to keep it at.
Yeah.
I had a whole ribeye.
Nice. Oh,
I had a whole bag of rice cauliflower with peas.
Okay.
And then I had, what else did I have? I had something else. A little kimchi.
Okay.
Just for the probiotic.
Of course.
And then that was it. Then I fell asleep on the couch because we wound up, the girls flaked. Shocker. Fucking shocker. Girls flaked, and which I didn't care anyway. I was in my jams already.
Nice.
Yeah. Sweetheart. Sweetheart, you missed the window.
I love early nights. Man.
That window, that window was an hour of like, we're going to like, I guess, you have to answer us to give us the details.
Yeah.
After that hour,
done.
Shower, jams, and I was watching WWE.
Nice, that's awesome.
I don't give a fuck about wrestling, but I just subscribed to Peacock because they had a Black Friday, $20 for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
And then WWE was on. I said, oh, fuck it. WWF. I said, fuck it, let me check it out. So they flaked, and then I fell asleep on the couch, and then I woke up at 11:30, and I was walking to my bedroom, and I saw the Italian bread sitting on my counter, and I went, fuck. So I had 2 slices of the Italian bread.
See that real quick.
Yeah. Let me take a look at this real quick. Let me just make sure it's not poison.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so then I ate that.
Yeah.
And I went to sleep. Not as restful as I would have loved for my sleep last night. It was okay.
Yeah.
And then I woke up this morning. I had, what did I have? I had 3 eggs. I had 3 whole eggs.
Nice.
And 1 piece of the Italian bread, which is 30 grams of carbs.
Nice, cool.
And then I went to jujitsu. And then I had 6 ounces of lamb, grass-fed lamb. Oh, I love lamb. I had 2 scoops of pasta that I made. So good. And I had some mushrooms and a little bit of sauce on top. And that was like that's the heaviest I've eaten in the last 24 hours besides the full ribeye.
Yeah, of course. Can't forget that.
I can't forget the fucking ribeye. Cooked in butter. Not Kerrygold.
So good. Fuck you, Kerrygold.
Fuck you, Kerrygold.
But no, dude, I love fasting. My mom and I do fasting. Fun fact of the day, I think you might have briefly posted this on your Instagram about the autophagy and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So fasting is actually very good to get rid of cancer cells in your body. Now, you have to just be careful because, when you have cancer and stuff like that, it really, do I need to eat because of X to make myself have energy to take the medicine and so forth and so forth? So it's a very delicate balance. But if you are able to have, a 36-hour fast for cancer, my mom and I do it every 3 months. It's really good because
36 hours.
36 hours.
Not 48.
No, not 48. No, well, not for my mom.
Okay.
Because she needs to eat
medicine,
all that jazz. Yeah. Now, what they're doing is, so I've, ever since this happened, I've been brainwashed with cancer because I want to always see what's the best because, I love my mom, obviously, and I want her to live. So what they're kind of showing now really is that after or at the 32-hour marker, what they're starting to show is that your body goes through like a cleanse. And what I mean by that is this. So when you're fasting, in your body, you have all these like debris cells, they're called.
Zombie cells.
Yeah, zombie cells, debris cells. There's an umbrella term of cells that if you don't get them out of your body, they're going to start causing a problem. And one of the big things they're looking at is those zombie cells, the debris cells, again, whatever you want to call it. They are very highly linked to cancer. Now, that's a good thing and a bad thing because obviously if you don't address that, that can lead to problems, unforeseen circumstances that we don't know could or could not happen. But what also you can do is you can reverse it, right? So at that 32-hour marker, the body is starting to look for energy and looking for crap to get rid of to get energy, right? So it takes all those debris cells and gets rid of them. So it's almost like your body is doing a full-on recycling of those cells that could have harmed you to create energy. So it's really cool. So we always try to do that as frequently as I can. Again, with everyone, I'm talking on a cancerous standpoint. You also have to, understand your body. If you're in like hour 24 and you're really not feeling, you're getting nauseous and stuff like that, and whatever the chemo, the radiation is throwing you off, like do yourself a favor, eat.
Eat something,
yeah. Don't starve yourself because of X, Y, and Z. Find a new time to do that. But that's what they're starting to show, that fasting at a certain hour, it starts to completely recycle the bad cells into energy, which burns fat and makes you quote unquote more healthy. So it's pretty cool, man.
I enjoy it, man. We're gonna create like a little group if you would like to come into it.
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna do maybe like once every month or so.
Yeah.
Just like do a
You should.
little extended fast. I think
Yeah.
it's just not only do I think and know it's healthy, but we have such a gluttonous type lifestyle as not only Americans but as humans that have access to all these different foods and
Of course.
and snacks and just everything.
Plentiful supply too. It's not
Oh
like
my
it's
God,
just
it's fucking-
there. It's
and it's just
like,
nonstop. It's just like constantly plugging our faces, and we never give our body a chance to not only reset and be able to filter out those dead zombie cells and whatever, but the ability for our digestive tract to just catch up and just chill for a few.
Yeah, mental clarity and stuff.
Yeah,
like that,
the mental clarity. That's what I find when I hit 18 hours, 20 hours. I find that I have good mental clarity, energy. I feel good. I feel clean. I feel clear. And then I just, it gets rid of that bloat, that constant bloat that, there's a girl I'm friends with. She does a lot of videos of food with her mom, and it's just constant Italian food. And she's always out. She's always eating. And
That's a lot.
I was talking to her. I just said, listen, you should probably try the fast because you're constantly eating. It's just like, it's not good for our bodies to just constantly, even bodybuilders. I talk to bodybuilders all the time. I'm like, guys, what are you doing? Look, even John Meadows, when he was alive, he was big on fasting.
Yeah.
He would fast once a week, not to 24, 48 hours, but he would do a good amount of fast because it gave it 6-7 meals a day every day for how many years? It's just like, it's a lot of food to just be processing around the clock. And you're not even, I see these dumbass fucking influencers that eating a Rice Krispie treat before the gym and shit like that. Bro, that's not even hitting your bloodstream. That's not even hitting your body for the workout, you stupid asshole. It's like, oh yeah, I'm eating a Rice Krispie treat. No, it's a reason. It's an excuse for you to eat junk food. Have a little bit of honey. That'll hit you quick. Stuff like that. That'll hit you and give you the energy. But like, you're not even tapping into the glycogen that's being utilized by that. That's glycogen from yesterday or from hours prior.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't work like that. So I just give your body a break. Stop just bombarding it with constant shit. It's just it's like a stressful thing for me because we're overfed, overdrank, over fucking high. It's like it's just the dopamine of just everything. It's like it's such a buzz overused word, dopamine, but it's just it's non fucking stop. I mean,
it's true.
I have people that I know that just need to fucking drink and be high. It's like, and then eat. And it's like, you just don't stop. You just don't stop, huh? You don't just sit with your own thoughts and just chill for a bit. Yeah. You can't just kick it. Well, no, I'm just enjoying life. It's like, you're enjoying it a little too much. Just chill out.
I think that's the problem, right? Because to go back to that, those fitness influencers. Influencers. Yeah. What I think they're trying to show is, and they're really missing the point on this, is that like, hey, I can eat a Reese's peanut butter cup, a gallon of maple syrup, and 3 waffles, and go to the gym, and I still look good. It's like you could, but you're missing the point of what we're doing right now. Yes, you can look good, but like how do you feel? We're not really fueling a healthy style of living. You're looking at a good, aesthetically nice way of living. Yes, I mean I will agree with you on that. Yes, you ate the maple syrup and you still look great. Yes, that is correct. You got me on that one. But you're not convincing me that you're healthy by doing that. You know what I'm saying? So
it's the same thing with the bodybuilders that plug the steroids nonstop. I talk to them, I say it all the time. Yeah, plug the steroids non-stop. They look great on the outside, but what do you look like on the inside?
I know, man. Yeah.
What do your organs look like?
Yeah.
Oh, I get blood work. Okay, but do you get CAT scans? Yeah. Like, do you get actual scans to see what's going on? Yeah. Calcification of your arteries. Like, do you actually look into these things, or do you just sit there and just nod when your coach tells you, let's up the dosage of everything?
Yeah. No, I talked about this on the first podcast way back, and I'll bring it back. But I was fortunate enough to be with a surgeon that works with a lot of Bev Francis people that they hurt their shoulder or whatever it is, and they have to do some type of muscle reattachment surgery or something like that. And what steroids do to muscles is wild, man. The best way I can explain of what I saw
from the inside
is the muscles become like a Slim Jim-like material. So it's malleable and moves around, but try to put a piece of, some type of material that sews back into your body, and you have this Slim Jim type material. Yes, if on a paper standpoint, did you fix it? Yes, you did. But the steroids just eats at those musculotendinous junctions that just cause it to be like this gook type, like almost like a shitty rubber, and it shouldn't be like that.
Did he say which steroid specifically was the one that was the culprit?
He didn't say that, but it usually comes from long term. Like, let's say, argument's sake, we did like a cycle. You know, that's not going to do it. It's the years and
20
years.
years, 15, 20 years.
Yeah. I think his research was like at 5 years.
Wow, that's not even that long.
It's not that long. No, but that's continuous.
A lot of dudes who start at early 20s and they just don't stop until they're 40, 50 years old.
So, you know, if you're hearing this, just make sure you understand the consequences that if you're on for long term, you will have muscular degeneration that won't come back. It's one of those things where when it occurs...
Is that why Arnold looks like shit nowadays?
Yeah, man. He looks definitely floppy, you know, but...
I know a lot of guys that probably didn't take the same amount of juice as he did, not even juice at all maybe, and they're old, they're his age or older, and they look 10 times better.
Yeah, you know, like... I think Larry Wills, is that his name? I think he's becoming a big advocate for like not doing steroids anymore because his body is like so fucked up.
That's interesting.
It is wild, man. But again, like, you know, I'm not saying, you know, if that's your goal, that's your goal. Like, I'm not
do what you want. I had this debate. I had this debate with my not even debate. I had this back and forth dialogue with my buddy Stone. Shouts to Stone, love you, bro. You're the homie. But we had this debate because he put this guy up, and this guy's like, if you're natty, you don't have to keep preaching about it. Just shut the fuck up. And he's like going on and on. I just said, this is the same guy that, you know, will say, I'd rather live 40 years as a lion than 80 as a sheep. I said, and then when his kidneys start failing from all the shit he's taking, I said, all of a sudden he's praying and saying, oh, what happened? Yeah, oh, but no, you know what you did to yourself.
Exactly correct.
Come on, bro. Why are we sitting here pretending?
Just understand.
And, you know, he went back and forth with me a little bit, and he was talking to me about like, well, I said, I'm not saying that he shouldn't be saying these things. What I'm saying is keep that same energy. Yeah. Because when you get sick from the steroids, don't sit here and now be against them or this and that. No. Keep that same energy. Yeah. Like you were all for it. Be all for it. And don't sit here and go, oh, well, no, like this way. No. You were pretty adamant about like, it's all or nothing, right?
Exactly.
Enjoy. This is what you brought on.
Yeah.
Because I've talked to so many fucking guys that have kidney shutdowns and that needed dialysis and this and that. But
you know,
it's like, is that worth it? Is that worth it to you?
You know, it's hard. You know, when I'm a big fan of Mr. Olympia. You know, you've done the photos in there and stuff like that too. So I like to see what the body could become. It's
crazy,
a fantastic thing to experience. To say like, wow, like this could be. You know, we really are limitless. We really are. But at the same time, you have to understand that there are consequences. And I really stress that about all my clients that are on steroids and stuff like that. I tell them, I say, listen, you can do it. And I will be in your ring, in your corner to the day that it's over. But just understand that this is a high-risk situation. You have to just get that. If you're okay with that, then go for it. You know, go for Mr. Olympia or whatever you want to do. But just know that this is what's happening. And at the end of the day, you know, like you said, you know, keep the same energy. You know, if you're going to keep knocking on the door, don't be afraid when someone answers.
Oh, someone and something is going to answer. Yeah, that's the scary part.
It is the scary part.
Like, are you ready to deal with those consequences of when you were 25 years old, you wanted to win an amateur fucking nobody, no name, nothing show? It's like, dude, I'm not jocking on your fucking on your drive and what you want to do as a human being in society, but like, just understand that those things that you did and those things that you took, there are very big consequences that come down the line. It's not always instantaneous. Yeah. What did I put up? I put up on my story, it was Matt DiLorenzo's wedding. I put it up the day before that. One of our buddies, Eric, who has been bodybuilding for a long time. He's in his late 30s now.
Okay.
Mid-30s, late 30s. Sorry, Eric, if you're listening. My bad.
You look great.
I think he's late 30s. He looks great. He does. Yeah. I put up a story that just said, I was watching the Olympia, and I just said, these smiles that these people are putting on, I said, these are some of the fakest smiles that you'll ever see in the world. I said, because they're miserable, they're judging themselves, and I said a bunch of stuff. Yeah. I just said, it's sad to see people trade their actual happiness for a plastic trophy and this and that. And listen, Eric got defensive. He got irritated. And I'll have Eric on. He could talk about it with me. I have no problem. I'm going to have his girlfriend on. She's phenomenal. Yeah. But it's like, he got irritated, and he was like, well, these are the same people that allowed you to quit your job and do photography full time. And I said, no, first off, nobody allowed me to do anything. Let's be very clear about that. Nobody allowed me to do anything. It was me working my fucking dick off with a main job and shooting people on the side to be able to make ends meet and make a name for myself. And then I just so happened to fall into the niche of bodybuilding because I had a lot of people that I knew in that. And now I've transitioned and exited out of it from doing it full time.
That's awesome.
Which I love. I love that I don't have to shoot that anymore.
It's hard work.
It's some of the most vain human beings in the world. And listen,
proud,
I've also been in that industry since 2011. I've been a Bevs guy since 2011.
Yeah.
Yep. Picked a camera up in 17 and really started using it in 18.
Yeah.
And that's when I've been doing it. So I've seen the armpit that is the fitness industry.
Yeah, man.
From all perspectives.
It's a
from the
dirty
health
world,
from the health perspective to the attitudes, to the egos, to the vanity, to the shit that goes on behind closed doors that nobody talks about. So I've seen it all. I also know that a lot of the people that compete are just doing it because they have no other outlet. Yeah. So to them, they let themselves get out of shape. They get fat, they get out of shape, this and that. And then all of a sudden, they go, well, I guess I'll do a show to get back in shape. It's like, dude, just diet. You can have, and I was that person one time,
of course,
but you can have balance.
Yeah.
You can be able to enjoy and have a good relationship with food and go to the gym and enjoy all these different training styles and stay lean.
Exactly.
Listen, I'm not the most shredded dude on the planet, but it's like I'm clear example of now I've gone through somewhat of the holidays already. I never thought that I'd go through the holidays without getting fat. Like it's unbelievable. My body would yo-yo, and then I'd start losing weight too late. I'd start losing weight in May, June, and then I'd start getting lean by September, October, and then the holidays come and I'd tank myself again, this and that. I don't want to start over again. I want to keep this healthy relationship that I have with myself, with food, with training. I don't want to just fall into that shit anymore. And unfortunately, you get in that cycle when you're in the fitness industry. Yeah, you get in the cycle of, I have to keep competing just to stay relevant, and I have to keep doing this. Oh, I'm 8 weeks out. I'm 20 weeks out. No, I'm in my off season, but really you just got fat. It's like there's a lot there's a lot of shit that just the fitness industry as a whole preaches health, but it winds up being unhealthy. That bothers me.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like I said,
sorry to rant.
No, it's you make perfect sense. It's not health. It's not. You know,
and I hope if people think I'm wrong, you tell me if I'm wrong.
No, I think you're absolutely.
I really do hope that if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I just from my experiences of doing it, competing in it, being around it, it's really one of the most unhealthy fucking sports in the world.
I think there's a very bad correlation, causation, or just people thinking that just because you look good does not mean you're healthy. It does not. You know, bodybuilding is a perfect example. There are people that look fantastic, and I can probably I would bet a lot that they're not healthy. Nope. They're not. It's wild. And again, you know, it's probably social media and people influencing and saying this and that and that. But you know, I think there's a very wrong way of people understanding what they see, and then unfortunately, when they get hit with the repercussions, they're not ready for it. You know, it also comes down to like I'll give a perfect example. This same physician, I'm not going to name names, that works on these also people that work at Bev Francis, he actually gave up on them because it's one of those things where they're not ready to put into the time to make themselves better. They're not. They want more. They'll do more weights while the suture is still attached, and then it relapses and it breaks, and then we're back to square one. People, I don't really think that they understand the whole flow of things. You know, a perfect example is like when someone gets a knee surgery. 9 times out of 10, unfortunately, they'll come to me. They're like, oh, like, Antonio, like, I didn't know it was going to be like this. And I want to say, like, no one told you this is what it's going to be like. Like, the surgeon didn't say, hey, it's going to take 3 months to get back. You will feel like shit. You will feel terrible on the knee. You're going to have weird sensations. No, they just said to do it. Same thing. You know, they just see these things and they're like, oh, that looks good. I want to do that. But they don't understand the cause and effect of it. It's wild. It really blows my mind. So, yeah, that's where it's at with that.
Side note, as injuries go, what do you think about the Aaron Rodgers thing?
Oh, so I heard about something wild. I heard that like they think that they faked it.
I mean, I've heard some theories like that. But I mean, you with your background in sports medicine and rehab, I mean, Buddy is getting better very quickly.
Yeah, so that's
Achilles total like detachment.
So that's what's getting a lot of buzz. Clearly when we look at the breakdown of the video, you clearly see a rubber band snap in his calf. That's you can't deny that. So something did tear. But he is doing incredibly well,
Especially at his age.
Especially at close to 40, which is really, really impressive that he's even in that. So what people are thinking about is that I don't think he had a full tear, meaning that when I say that, I don't think all of his calf
removed, yeah. I mean, he stood. Generally, you wouldn't be able to stand, right?
In retrospect, you might be able to stand, but the way that he stood, I don't think that would have been possible. He might have tore a little bit of it, and they might have surgically attached just that piece of it. Again, percentage-wise, I don't know. I'm going to say probably maybe less than 50% he tore on that, but I don't think it was as bad as they made it out to be. But yeah, I was looking at that. That's actually been a very hot debate in the Giants.
Dude, he's not wearing anything.
He's not, he's
just throwing the ball,
he's pivoting
hanging
well.
out.
It's very impressive on whatever he's doing. Maybe it's the ayahuasca trips that he's been taking. I don't know. Maybe it's that 7 days of dark room. I don't know.
It'd be like that sometimes. Sometimes you need a little dark room in your life.
We've actually debated that in the Giants room. We're like, how is he doing it? And no one knows. We're like, I am convinced that there was
a tear, just not as horrible as tear as everyone thought, or
not as prevalent as they thought
they were saying.
Would be. Yeah. But
I'm like, the craziest thing would be the comeback of out of nowhere they make the playoffs somehow.
Exactly.
And he just gets in. And it's like, what?
I don't know.
The fuck just happened? We were there opening night, Tyler and I.
I know you were. That was fucking.
We were there opening night. I'm a Patriots fan. I was amped for the Jets.
Dude, I was, man. I'm a Giants fan.
The energy was through the roof.
Yeah.
He came running out with that flag.
Dude, that was wild.
I went like this. I looked at Tyler. I went, yo, this is hot. I said, this is fucking fire. And then, bro, second play, I'm not even joking. Nobody noticed except for me in the box at first.
Yeah.
I looked and I just saw him like walk over to the side and then he sat down. Nobody saw him sit down. I went, uh-oh. I said, oh, I don't think that's good. And then that's when they brought them.
Funny.
I said, oh, that's fucked.
I know, man. It's wild. But yeah, like I said, I'm not denying the fact that he didn't tear. He definitely did. I just don't know the actual percentage and severity of it, but he had to tear something. There's nothing else goes to a rubber band like that.
Yeah, that recoil looking
exactly
pop.
Like a shake. You know? It's definitely. But yeah, that's the hot take right now. What's going on? A lot of the higher ups, like the level 1s and 2s, they're like, are they doing something that we don't know? I'm like, I'll be honest with you. If they are, it's not news to me, and I'm very caught up with knowledge. I read articles every day to get people better. If it's something brand new, it must be some type of European something that they're doing. I don't know, but I think it's the ayahuasca.
European? Just think it's a new Fiji study. They're doing it in the islands. It's like, what the fuck? How did you know? How did you know that they were doing it in Fiji?
Yeah, that's really funny that you brought that up. I just read that the other day, and we were just talking about it the other day too. And then like, what could it be? I'm like, I don't know, man. But he's defying odds. Man.
Injuries are so tough, man. It just
Injuries
really is.
Tough.
Even the little injuries that I've battled with jiu-jitsu with my knee. I popped my knee. I didn't realize. I was like I realized, but I didn't realize that I was putting it in such a bad position.
Yeah.
A lot of white belt shit going on. Like a lot of white belt shit, a lot of just now I'm very situationally aware with jiu-jitsu. I roll slower. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to put my hands in to like the different positions instead of like trying to do it quick. Because I'm worried that they're gonna slip out or this and that. It's like, well, if they slip out, then I'll do the next set of moves. I'll see what we got to do.
Exactly.
But I trapped this kid's leg, man. Mm-hmm. I pulled him into my guard.
Yeah.
Couldn't sweep him. I opened my guard. Mm-hmm. So now he's kneeling in front of me. I opened my guard. My legs are on both of his sides.
Yeah.
And my right knee, I trapped his left knee that he had on the ground.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, whatever. He's still kneeling.
Yeah.
Then we both had the same idea of I over-undered each other, and we both stood up.
Yeah.
And as we stood up, his left foot came up, and my foot went with his foot, and my knee touched the mat, and it just went, and I went, oh man. I said, okay, and it was like didn't hurt, but it felt off. It felt tight.
Yeah,
it felt weird behind my knee for a while.
Big thing,
And I was like, what is this? Did I just tear my fucking ACL or what did I do and this and that? And I called up Nick. I went over to where he was working at the time. He felt me out, assessed it, did all that. He's like, you don't have any loss of strength, so you should be good. Okay. And for a week or two there, man, it was not painful, but it was off.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I just kind of randomly felt fine again.
Good, thank God. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I guess it wasn't a tear.
Yeah.
I guess it was just maybe the bone just.
Yeah, a mobility issue, right? Just kind of came out.
Just kind of coming off and just making the noise that scared me.
Yeah, exactly. No,
that's the biggest thing I get nervous about.
No, noise is scary. Yeah. It really is. When you hear like a crunch, you're like, shit.
I get nervous about the
good.
knees. I get nervous about the elbows. Because when they go for an arm bar and they're just pushing against the elbow and it's like reverse, it's like hyperextending it, that I get super nervous about because I feel them grab that arm, I go over my right arm and I grab my arm so quick and I start pulling it back.
Do you just have a favor? Never hurt your elbow. Please don't. The elbow is, in my history of working with just the body in general, the elbow to me is the most complex joint. It rotates, it bends, it extends, it pivots. There's another joint at the wrist that also pivots as well. I've worked with people, man. It is very hard to come back from an elbow injury. Do not hurt your elbow, whatever you do, man.
That's all I'm thinking about now.
That I know you're gonna think about that, but if there's a recommendation, man, try not to hurt the elbow. It's a bad joint to rehab. It's just such a tough situation, especially if you get surgery.
Do they make full recoveries or is it never the same?
In the history I've seen, it's like 50-50, man. It really just comes down to the point of how accountable you are on working on yourself.
I don't like those odds.
No, I know, man. I know. I've had people with Tom and John surgery, like bad surgeries, not like after me, that they don't have full extension anymore. I've had people that they were riding their bike and they hit something and they flipped and they landed on their elbow and they broke it and then they put it back and it's only limited to like 90 degrees up here and then like 10 degrees before that. Do not hurt your elbow, man. I'm serious. Do not. A hyperextension is a little bit different because it's a dislocation. You can just pop it back in place. And
that's what I get worried about though with like with framing. Yeah. So if like I get up on my on my elbow, I worry about. I had a.
You have like a clavicle fracture?
Not a fracture. I had a AC joint sprain. AC joint was bad.
Yeah, no, I know. AC joints look ugly because, like, I deal with a lot of like volleyball players, and they land on it. This joint separates, and so they have this gigantic bump above that, and they're like, "Well, is it gonna go away?"
You'll have to feel. You have to feel mine and let me know what you
of course,
think.
Definitely,
because it's like I definitely have.
Yeah.
I definitely have a little bit but then I feel it on this
and
side.
There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, like there is like this wild surgery where like they take like pretty much like barbed wire, but like it's just wire. They just like tangle it up, but it doesn't lead to anything better. It's just one of those things where you just strengthen your shoulder, you strengthen your rotator cuff, and it will just be okay. It's I wouldn't recommend hitting it again, but
Unfortunately, and I don't even think it was jiu-jitsu that did it. I think it was the HIIT class. I think it was ring muscle ups.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh, that's
so they're coming down and pushing yourself through.
No, totally. Yeah,
I think that was what actually did it.
That's a very good point. That's probably what it was because that does take a lot of rotation, and your AC joint has to go anterior and posterior for that. It has to kind of separate a little bit for that to happen. So that does make sense.
And I think it was the burpees too.
Yeah, it could be the burpees as well. Yeah, that landing does vibrate up the arm. It goes into the clavicle, which is.
And I land when I jump. I'll show you how I do a burpee afterwards. I like land. Yeah. I don't just like we're just jumping in. You're gonna cringe when I show you my burpee. It's quick. Yeah, it's like if I do it slow, I'm not getting back up.
No, exactly correct. You're like you know what? I'm gonna lay down here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna chill out down here.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have anything on that sheet that you want to talk about?
I do. Yes, I have Tony's tips.
Let's see.
We gotta.
Let's do it. Let's do like one or two, and then we'll do a part two of this podcast because you and I could talk for fucking ever. Yeah, and I know he's got to go to the bathroom. That's why he's
take a poopy. Let me see. One or two of them. What do I want to start here?
Oh, boy. I know you're sliding all over the place. Give me this face.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do two of them. One links to fasting.
Okay.
And one links to something that has been a big pet peeve of mine, and unfortunately for me, there's research that shows it works. So, so they did a research study the other day, and they thought about how much water do you think you need to drink a day to have proper hydration? Now, like that's a question to you. There's no wrong answer because there is no wrong answer.
I know it's way less than than a gallon a day. I already know it's way less. I would say it's one of those 1.5 liter bottles.
So actually, there is no number. So there's an old wives' tale that says 8 glasses a day of water leads to a healthy lifestyle. So that actually, there's no research behind that. Where that came from was a guy that back in the 60s, he died. And in the obituary, they put down like a nice little thing about it. They said, we think that the reason why he lived longer is because he drank 8 glasses a day. There is no research, none, about 8 glasses a day being good well, I'm not going to say it's bad, but there's no research saying like, oh, this is what you should hit.
This is the quintessential standard.
Exactly correct. Yeah. So they did new research on that, and there's two ways to look at it. There's a very specific way of how much water you need, which is based upon how much your core body temperature, how much carbs you burn, how many calories you burn per day, what you're doing activity lifestyle. There's a huge equation. It's like 3 lines long. I didn't write that down because it's ridiculous. Yeah. Or at the end of the day, look at the color of your urine.
Okay.
You should always aim for very, very, very light yellow. It should never get to that point where it's like, is it orange or is it yellow? That's the amount of water you should properly drink.
Mine's 90% of the time it's clear.
Fantastic.
Totally clear.
Good. Yeah. From a light yellow into the clearness, that's what you're looking for. Okay. So I thought that was a really fun fact. Yeah. And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I know we fast together.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It popped up, the 8 glasses a day. I'm like, that's really interesting. It was one of those, like, I think called a Mandela effect.
Yeah, Mandela effect.
Where it's one of those things where you're like, no one really looked actually into this. That is curious about that, you know? So I thought that was pretty cool.
The water thing is crazy, because when I was bodybuilding and competing, I was drinking right up till the show about 2.5 to 3 gallons a day.
That's wild. That's a lot of water.
I know. And people afterwards,
that's like toxic amount of water.
That's what people afterwards said. You could have like drowned your kidneys.
Yeah,
like
that's fucking wild, man.
It was because I was so hungry that I just would have to satiate myself with water.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But I was pissing nonstop.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it was insane. I'd be pissing every 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
So I look back at that and I'm just like, so that canteen that I have over there, it's 64 ounces.
Nice, yeah.
So I know if I drink 2 of those, I'm good. Like, in my mind, it's gallon.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And I'll put an element in there. I'll put a hydration supplement in there.
Yeah.
If I roll and I do my HIIT class, and it's tough workouts, like tough rolls, tough class, I find that I need way more. Like, I'll need an extra element pack. I'll need, because I just feel so run down because I'm just I've sweat so much.
Yeah.
Drenched. Yeah. I mean, when I do the jiu-jitsu,
I'm sure you're fucking pouring with
drenched.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. There are times where I'm rolling with my partner. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like dripping on his head. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, it is like, I'm on top of him trying to finish a move, and it's just like streams of sweat just dropping onto him and his. I'm like, my bad, bro.
Yeah. A couple of clients actually asked me about that. They said like, well, what about working out? And the rule of thumb is that if you really want to look in, be very religious with something like this, the rule of thumb is this. Like, let's just say arbitrary numbers. I weighed 100 pounds before I worked out. I worked out hard, and now I weigh 98. You should drink that amount
to replenish.
Gotcha. Right. And remember, like, water is heavy, right? Mm-hmm. So 2 pounds of water, whatever that is, that's how much you really should replenish.
Gotcha.
Right? But at the end of the day, as long as you keep your urine relatively clear, you are in the zone of being healthy.
Boom, we good then.
So that was really funny.
That's good.
And then another thing that, again, this is my own ego that I have to kind of swallow on, is there is new research that's showing that there's something called long length partials.
Okay.
Pretty much what a long length partial.
Is this what was coming up with like Sam Sulek?
Yes, that's exactly correct. So I looked into this. I'm like, who is this guy?
I like Sam Sulek. He's like the Bob Ross of bodybuilding.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have no quarrels with him.
He's just mad. He's mad calm. He's like, what you guys want to do is you're gonna want to. It's like, so calm listening to you.
So this guy actually raised a lot of questions about like how he works out, because he does a lot of partials very, very heavy. So, they kind of give me an idea, like, let me look into this. And there's actually a lot of research on long length partials at the fact that, it's the muscles that work the best with this is 3, is the lats, your triceps, and your hamstrings, especially a seated leg curl rather than a laying down leg curl, just because of how the muscle lengthens and stuff like that. So they were like, me, were like, let me look into this and see how much merit this has. And not only does it lead to strength benefits, but it leads to actually very good hypertrophy benefits, in particular to the triceps and the lats. The hamstrings led to more strength gains rather than hypertrophy gains, while the triceps and the lats led to more hypertrophy gains rather than strength gains. Now, it comes down to, well, how do I implement this into my workout routine? Am I just going to do partials all day? No, absolutely not. You're not going to do that, because obviously you want to get a good length-tension relationship with your muscles. So what the rule of thumb is on what the research shows is that if you're doing 4 sets of something like that, what they would recommend is the last set, go a little extra heavy and just rep out some partials. And so what is a partial also? Like, what does that define?
I call them butterflies.
Yeah. So percentage-wise, let's say like 100% range of motion you have. What is a partial? They're looking at 25 to 50%. It's considered a partial rep. After 50%, it's not in that partial rep range anymore. It's more in the full range, which it really isn't because it can be 51% and still not be range, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
It's in
Splitting
that
hairs at that point.
Exactly correct. Yes. Between 25 and 50% of a partial rep going heavier leads to strength gains and hypertrophy gains in certain situations. You'll always get a hypertrophy and strength gain in those three muscle groups. But in particular, again, to reiterate, the hamstring gets more strength gains rather than hypertrophy, and the triceps and the lats has more hypertrophy than strength gains. So there's the tips.
That's dope. I love that.
It is cool, And like I said, the reason why I'm annoyed about that is because I always said full range of motion leads to great things, and now I'm wrong.
Yeah, wow, accountability. That's crazy. That's
what
crazy.
are you going to do?
It's not seen though.
But, that's what I would recommend.
Brother, we've been chopping it up for a little over 2 hours.
Cool.
Isn't
Awesome,
that crazy?
Man. Yeah.
I'm gonna have you back on.
Please, we got 18 more tips for you guys.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't even get to cover them. We'll do something before the end of the year. Maybe we'll do some next month.
Cool. That's fine,
and we'll chop it up, hang out again.
Awesome.
I appreciate you. I'm probably going to release this before I release John's episode from last week. I did record. My buddy John Manimal came in. He's a second degree black belt.
Sick.
He's dope. He's a little wild. Okay.
Brace yourselves.
Yeah, so I have to.
It's passion.
Yeah, maybe I got to edit a little bit of his podcast, and I just haven't felt like doing it because it's the holiday week and shit like that. So I'm probably going to throw yours up tomorrow, and then I'll put John's the next as the next one that goes up.
Awesome.
But I always love talking to you, man.
Thank you.
It's great to talk to you, hang out, do our thing.
Yeah, it was really.
So this might be 75. It might be 76. It's probably going to be 75 because John's was 75.
Cool.
But how can people get in touch with you as usual if you want to have anybody hit you up for some homework? And
if you guys ever want to just talk shop or have any type of questions, please reach out to my Instagram, Lombardo PT. So it's LOMBARDO, P as in Peter, T as in Tom. And like I said, you have any questions, I'm always free to answer anything. If you want to just talk research or nutrition or injury prevention and all that jazz or reduction, let me know. I'm always available to talk.
Love you, bro. I appreciate you.
Thanks,
on that note, I appreciate everybody for fucking with us and hanging out. Peace.
Peace.